Awesome. Good morning, Kripple Krew. What is up, Neil McKenzie, member of Kripple Krew Inc. I can tell TKE still hasn't done his drawing yet because they're only trickling in slowly at the moment. But welcome to another edition of South African Saturdays, where we get to chat with awesome South African custom knife makers. And today, thanks to our homeboy Gareth, our brother from a South African mother, we are joined by Hylton and Nicola Rutherford from Rutherford Forge. Hi to both of you, and thank you for joining us.
How's it, guys?
Hope everybody's having a killer Saturday. What is up? Rolf Robertson, member Kripple Krew Inc., Kurt White, William Hornbossel, Rick Whitson. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a killer day. Today, we're joined by some folks that Gareth got to see their work first last month at the Easter Durban Knife Show. And would you like to, would you please tell us a little bit about Rutherford Forge and the history behind it?
Shall I kick off?
Go for it.
Okay, so I was an advertising executive. I started by the industry, not really, but I just found a passion that interested me more than marketing. So in 2006, I used my marketing skills to grow my hobby into a full-time job, and I've been going at it ever since. So it's 2006, I started Rutherford Forge with a focus on fully forged blades, using only natural materials from Africa. So my focus then was on repurposed, recycled metals and natural handle materials, and it's still there to a large extent on most of my blades.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Almost 20 years now doing what you love to do. What's up, Josh 304? What it do, homie? Nicola, do you look like you were gonna?
Yeah, you know, the way I joined in is just once we became a father-daughter duo. It's well, I remember when my dad made his first knife at home, we actually put together a forge with a hairdryer, to my mother's greatest dismay. And but you know, growing up, I used to help my dad at a market. We used to be permanently part of the Bryanston organic market, as it was known then. It's no longer been a thing since then. Also tried my hand at more of a corporate thing. So I was in software development, I was a product owner. And this is just far more my passion, up my alley. It's our family legacy. I'm incredibly proud of my dad and all of the things that he does and all of the things that he's able to teach me. So since this year, yes, I've been helping him out, and it's been the best work experience ever.
That's awesome to hear. It sounds like you both have a real passion for it.
No, we honestly do. It's history and craftsmanship. My dad also started out as an artist years and years ago. We both are painters as well. So I have my fine arts degree. My dad has always been a big inspiration when it comes to creative things. And, you know, my dad always pushed, do what makes you happy and do what you're talented at and what, you know, you're good at and what you feel what's the equivalent to this? Sorry. What you feel craving to do.
Sure. Like what drives you.
Yes, what drives you, and everything will follow.
Hell yeah.
It's quite amazing how many of the knife makers and that actually start off at flea markets and stuff like that. So if you want to find a good knife, go to a flea market.
That's really cool. Here it's the opposite. If you want to find the most gas station-y knife, you know, the crappiest knife, you go to our flea markets. It's a little bit different here. Yes. Like it's mostly, You know, you might find it like, say, a motorcycle swap meet or something where it's more focused. You might find somebody that's got a couple of good knives. But yeah, flea market's not the best part around here, at least. Pickled Steel, what it do? Aldo, how are you today? Lou, what is up? Good to see you.
Hey,
So do you still have that first knife that you made in 2006?
I'm so mad at him. He sold it. He actually adjusted it. He added a gut hook. It was a very, very strange shape. And we had a big fight about it when I was like a lot younger. That he actually, because he used to have it sitting at the top of his cupboard. That was also another, thing that you remember growing up. And somebody was interested in it. And, as the business goes, it dips and it goes. And we were in a bit of a dip. And he let it go to, well, at least a home that really, really loves it. So
I'm
awesome.
but I don't.
So many by now, but that one was quite special. It was probably the ugliest knife that we've ever made. Ugly. And then my dad added the gutting hook, and it really thinned it out and made it look a lot nicer, a lot sleeker, and it found a home, another home, a different home.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Derek, for real, member Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on? He says, "Who's that crazy guy with the weird hair?"
must be DVD.
Gotta be.
Not me, yeah.
No, it's DVD. Before this on TKE's live, I was just saying I had to quickly shoot in for makeup and that, and then I said no, I got kicked out because the DBD was they needed a lot more time on him than what they do with me.
Yeah, they gotta get the beard all ready for the show.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is it coming in just yet?
Got some more work to do.
I like shaved mine off so I couldn't be put out by everyone.
You were just feeling a little jealous, so you had to cut some of it off,
Yeah. Very much so.
I've got a real pet
Yeah, but you can use a good excuse. You could always say, no, the forge kind of blew out and it caught me over here. And
So my dad will come back in, and my little brother as well, because they're both a bit of a fire hazard, and they have no eyelashes.
Based on the head.
It sure does.
my wife,
member Kripple Krew Inc. Good morning. Go ahead.
My wife laughed at me. I was playing around with fire chains and trying them out in it, and I kind of set myself alight, and I didn't know about it, but she was too busy laughing at me to tell me.
We were I don't know. We had an event 2 years ago, and we were working a very large homemade barbecue trailer, right? And it wasn't lighting. It went, and I opened it up, and when it lit, a nice fireball came out, and it caught one side of my the side of my beard, the eyebrow on that side, the eyelash on that side. It even got my ear hair on that side of the head. And I turned and looked at my wife, and I was laughing. I was like, "Did it get me?" And she's like, "You're still on fire."
At least she told you.
Yes,
Mine just laughed at me.
Jay Corscotton, member Kripple Krew Inc. What it do? Ed Durban, Edwards, member Kripple Krew Inc. Cal, Knives of Life. What it do, my man? So
You see, Lou's getting jealous about your ear hair. At least you can use it for a pillow. You see?
yeah, exactly. Lou's always jealous of something. That's just Lou, but we're used to it by now. Jim Miller, member Kripple Krew Inc. Good morning. SC Knife Monkey, what it do? So you guys talk about obviously using natural materials and repurposed steels and such. What are your favorite items and steels to take and repurpose?
So I love to use leaf springs. I've got a very good friend who rebuilds Land Rovers, so a lot of my leaf springs are ex-Land Rover. Series
Oh,
1.
perfect.
I get a lot of ragging for that because Land Rover, I don't know what it's like in the USA, but Land Rover drivers and Toyota drivers do not get along. They
Yeah,
either
yes.
one or the other.
Yeah, the Land Rover people think they're better than the Toyota people.
My biggest selling point is the Land Rover leaf springs are self-maintaining because they're always leaking oil. So
The quick thing about Land Rovers, you know that 95% of them are still on the road since the first one. The rest made it home.
That's quite interesting.
Yes.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
And
the rest of them made it home. The others are stuck.
And the rest is still on the road.
I love to
Gareth, what's
do
going
things
on?
like that.
Ooh, we're going to give you the screen while you show that.
So that's a repurposed farrier's rolls.
It's always awesome when you use those rasps because you get that texture still on there.
Yes, and
Oh, even the handle is made from it, isn't it? It's all one piece.
It's actually
Wow.
it's the most controversial knife to date. We have a very lovely fan who says, but that's just a sharpened file. Like, yes, isn't it awesome? But yeah,
All blades are just sharpened metal.
Well, this is it. I just love transforming rubbish into something that's functional and beautiful, in my opinion.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, that looks really awesome. I like how the hand, it's all one piece of steel. It looks great.
Yes.
It's a bit of a mission. It means a lot of whacking in the forge to get it to that point. It's also not that easy for us to get hold of farrier files. So when we do grab them, being able to preserve something of it like that, so that it tells the story of where it came from and how it came to be to this new point. It's pretty awesome, and it's quite special for us. It's like you can see the effort that went into getting it to this, and you can see it's a farrier file, which is also awesome. We pull this out at a barbecue. We call them a braai, and it tells a story, you know.
Sure, it's a steel with history instead of just a brand new piece of metal.
So I leave the teeth in so you can grate something.
So garlic or nutmeg, you know, some of your onions.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's actually inspired by another knife maker. It's a female knife maker in New York. She does something quite similar, where she makes chef's knives with a rasp on it, which is pretty cool.
That is really cool. I haven't seen that on a chef's knife, but it makes sense now when you think about it. Be shady, member Kripple Krew Inc. What it do? Aries EDC Scott, what's going on? Says the guy on the bottom seems sketchy. Yeah, here I know there's a lot more repurposing of the farrier rasps here because I mean there's a lot of them because we have a lot of horses, a lot of there's still quite a bit of farriers active, and so it sounds like it's a little more accessible than it is there.
Yeah, well, I think specifically for us, I think we just don't know the right people just yet. Maybe there is a horsey community close to us.
Sorry. I was going to say that we've got Summerfeld here by us where they train all the horse races. So maybe
there you go. There might be an in for some.
Well, we'll have to come visit you.
Cool.
And Durban says he needs to borrow that knife for the next time he and his 99 friends are out in gorilla country.
Well, we've got a couple more to show. Just hold on. You might want to borrow something else.
Yeah. Very much so.
So now I have to ask, before we show anything new that's coming on, I'm always curious, what's in your pockets? What do you two carry?
So I carry a bolita. So it's a similar one to what we're going to be showing you later on. It's actually one that was made for my mother, but I think it's incredibly beautiful. And it's actually, I don't carry it. It normally sits in my car because we get a lot of hijackings and things like that here. And I don't carry in public.
Sure.
So that's kind of what I have. I love it. It's stunning because it's got a different it's got, instead of spaces, the entire handle is made out of spaces. I changed my mind a lot, and I think that just having the variety of different materials in the handle, I think other people would think it's hideous, but I think it's awesome. It's got a little bit of everything in it.
That's cool. Yes.
So I'm
Groundhog, good morning. What's up, Fook? Pardon. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Hylton.
So I'm quite proud of our Scottish heritage. Rutherford's a Scottish name, and we all come from there years ago. So that's my EDC. It's a little ski undo.
Yeah, I like it.
A bit of antler horn, fallow deer, and that's what I tuck in my pocket daily. It's small and easy, and
I like that a lot. You made that one?
I did, yes.
Okay, here's mine.
Ooh, that actually really does look cool with the different blade materials.
It's
Or
awesome,
handle
right?
materials. That looks awesome. I like that gold right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful. So I think it's
Like a
really
burl
beautiful.
or something.
Even okay, so there's even a little piece. I don't know if you can see it. It's quite dark, but there's even a piece of leather in there.
Yeah,
Lift
that's
it up
really
a
cool.
little bit. There we
little
go.
bit of,
Yeah, that is really cool.
Is it showing better now?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So I think it's quite cool. So I think we've got tooth here. Isn't that hippo tooth?
That is.
That's hippo tooth. So we got hippo tooth over here, which is ivory. So it could never go overseas with me. I think they classified it quite recently as being ivory. And then what is that? African blackwood.
Yeah, ivory is very hard here for sure.
Yeah. I think that's rosewood bull at the end there. That's been treated with some oil. African hardwood there. Then this is olive bull over here.
Yep.
And then what's this one? I'm stuck with this one.
African blackwood.
Is that also that's African blackwood?
Yeah.
And then this is African hardwood. No, that one. That's rosewood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
very
cool.
nice.
If you see over here, this is where the leather spacer is.
That's really neat. It really did let you try, get a mixture of all the materials.
Yeah, and I love it. It's actually urging my mom's, but it sits in our car, and it's quite beautiful. It's rosewood, Derek, and then a brass butt.
That's nice.
Yeah, I love
Chris Lopez. What's up, homie? Oh, pardon. Go ahead, Hylton.
Most of my handle materials are South African, so Cocobolo is South American. So these are all mainly South African materials on the handle.
Yeah, so we have branched out a bit since then. So we don't constantly use. Fortunately, our demand has also grown as our business has grown, and you can only get so many found materials. So we try and incorporate as many found materials as we possibly have. Otherwise, we do have to branch out and get some other things now and then.
Sure. Jesse, we got Gons, we got Kelly's Mishmash, member Kripple Krew Inc. Hi, Kelly. So,
Kelly's my overseas mom.
now, one thing that we have definitely learned here is, South Africa definitely still has a lot of knife culture where it's more of a part of your daily life, your everyday, everything, the stuff you use every day. Over here, we have our EDC community, and we do have people that we use our knives every day. They're our tool, but we have so many people that live that life of convenience that probably never carry a knife on them, only use a knife in their kitchen. And so I find that a lot of it goes back to your hunting culture. Are you a hunter, Hylton?
I am, but not that much. I do it when invited, but it's not on my agenda.
Sure. Yeah. What about you, Nicola?
But it does come with a heavy price tag a lot of the time. So when we get invited, we definitely tag along. But
gotcha.
It's an opportunity thing.
Yeah.
Did you see Eldor's message there about you guys saying you want to branch out?
What did he say?
Branching out. I can help. Yeah, he said he did say earlier that he missed you at HuntX, but he still wants to hook up.
Yeah, I did give them a bit of a wave though. Fortunately, they looked extremely busy, so I hope that you guys had a wonderful hunting as well. So I also met your beautiful daughter. So just tell her I say hi, Aldo.
So now, Huntex, how did that go for you guys?
Well, I kept my ugly face out of it most of the time because Nicola joined me, and it seemed to have paid off because I had the best sales I've ever done at Huntex.
Oh, so that was the way to go then, obviously.
Good job.
They come and they look at this and they walk past.
My dad also doesn't do as much talking as I do. I enjoy talking and I enjoy engaging with people. Not that my dad doesn't. It's just that I can do it more.
Sure.
You're actually
faster.
you're very natural at it. Like at the Easter Knife Show, it was actually very interesting chatting to you and learning more. And you made it easier for somebody that has questions. You actually answered a lot of them before I could even answer them. So, yeah, keep it that way.
That's so cool. That's amazing to hear. Thank you.
So between Easter Durban and Huntex, what was most popular for you guys?
That actually changed between the two. So I find that the trend currently is a lot of your first-time knife buyers. So they want to get a small utility, and it's your youngsters that have just gotten a job and want to invest into a good piece, you know. And it's normally your outdoorsman who will normally look at our pieces because it's got a bit more of a rustic, rough style. So I found that there was a lot of youngsters buying smaller knives. So their first of their collection. So that was definitely Durban Easter. And then Huntex was a mixture of that, as well as your collectors, so your more showstopper pieces. So we're going to talk about it just now, but we had a very interesting dagger that was on the table that went, as well as a Bowie. How's it correctly said? Can you guys give me?
It's a Bowie. A Bowie. Yeah, a Bowie knife. It's got definitely a weird pronunciation. It looks like it could be Bowie, and a lot of people over here do say Bowie, but the actual name, because it's named after the Bowie family, is Bowie.
Oh, okay, Bowie. Yeah, because we also have a lot of people telling me different things. So for once and for all, now it's Bowie. That's it. That's it. It's done. Your other pieces.
Last weekend, I actually went and I we went to, there's a guy here in Durban that does buoy fighting and all of that. And we got the full history of it. So I've got some of the pages. I'll take a picture of them and send them to you as well with the history and stuff like that from it.
I'd love that. We have quite an interest in history of knives and knife designs. We're also going to talk about some of them in a minute when you guys are ready.
No, I'm ready. What would you like to talk about? This is something that I've been definitely ready for. We've got some people in the chat now. They're going to be interested. So
okay, great. So we're actually going to start with the bully tip because it's one of our top selling pieces, and we love the story behind it. So it's kind of shaped like a paring knife, and we'll tell you exactly why now. So I'm going to show you the knife first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about its history and background. So this is the knife shape. So it's a bit of it's not like a plain Jane. It's a bit of your longer one, and it's what I call a gentleman's knife. It's something that it can be used as an everyday carry. It's quite utility.
Sure. And if you pull it out to cut your steak at the restaurant, people aren't going to look weird at you.
Exactly. And it can go anywhere and everywhere. And we normally do a natural wood handle with it. We do our signature forge finish on the spine here. It's something that we currently are supplying Safari and Outdoor with. And so it's called the Bolita. It's actually called the lion knife. And the story is that there was a ranger, and his name is Harry Bolita, and he was alive in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It's weird saying that considering we were all born in the 1900s. But, yeah, so he was a ranger for the Kruger National Park, and he actually went to go visit a friend, was it?
Well, no, let me pick it up from there. So Harry Voluter was going on patrol on his horse. And in between the camp and his destination, he got taken off his horse by a male lion.
Oh.
So there are two rogue lions in this little pride. The one took him off, badly mauled his shoulder. He pulled out his trusty belt knife and managed to kill the lion. So he climbed a tree where he was found the next day.
No, 4 days later, actually. So he's got a book that he wrote. I'll find the title for it and give it to you guys before we're done. But he climbed that tree, and he was in that tree for 4 days before he escaped. And there was obviously the other lion around that he had to kind of fight off the whole time.
He spent 6 months in hospital recovering.
Yeah.
And his trusty knife now hangs in the Skukuza Museum.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure where this camera is, so I keep looking in the wrong place.
Right here.
So I keep. I'll get it right.
That's okay.
So his trusty knife
Yes, there we go.
now hangs in the museum in the Skukuza resort at the Kruger National Park.
Yeah.
Together with the skin of the poor lion.
Yeah, the lion.
And how he acquired this knife is also interesting because he was visiting a friend in Barberton, which is a little mining village near the Kruger National Park. And he saw this knife on his friend's cheese platter.
Yeah.
So he exchanged his belt knife. Cheese platter. And it's actually a Sheffield paring knife, the original. So this little old Sheffield paring knife has gained great fame as a unique piece of South African history.
So now it's the Volita, or the lion knife.
The lion knife.
Very cool.
Interesting part about that is once he had recovered, and years later, he went to, what's the maker's name? Sheffield.
Yeah.
He went to the factory in England, in the UK, and he pointed out the knife because it's originally a paring knife. He's like, you know that I killed a lion in South Africa with one of those. And the cheeky bugger behind the counter said, yeah, I mean, all of our guys who go to South Africa, that's what they buy them for. That's exactly it. So now it's known as the lion knife. You can actually, if you guys ever go to the Kruger National Park, which is stunning, by the way, it's something that should be on everyone's bucket list. It's amazing. To try and take a look, and you can go and look at the original piece as well as the lion that took him down.
That's great. Jim Miller says he wants one just under 7 inches.
100%. What's that me done?
Yeah.
Cicero, member Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on, homie? What's going on, Vegas Dad? Good to see you. So that's really cool, the Volita, and I like that story. And so you guys have been having success with the Volita line?
Yeah.
Style?
So I think it's probably our biggest seller at the moment. It's just because it's a nice shape. It's a nice shape for everything, and it's got such a cool backstory and history. It's quite an awesome knife just in general. It's also very similar to my everyday carry. It's just I dig the shape. It's quite balanced in both sides.
Yeah.
So I think people think so. They must think so too.
That's awesome.
Berries, did you see the size of the everyday carry there? Just so you know.
Yeah, no, it's a buoy.
The next piece we're going to show you is the thing that I'm going to be shaving the thing underneath your lip with, Gareth. The art.
Yeah, that's what Lou wants to see.
So you're about to see it.
So this is one of my most popular blades.
All the way back. There we go.
Ooh.
So
That is wicked.
This is called an Iqua.
Yeah.
Iqua?
Iqua. Because when you shove it in, you go E. When you put it up, it goes Qua. When Shaka Zulu became famous, or gained fame amongst the Zulus, really, he grabbed the Isizwe, the throwing spear, and he broke the shaft in half because the means of battle before he became a famous warrior was to stand 50 yards apart and throw spears at each other.
Oh, it's not
And
too far from what we do with trenches.
And he
true.
This is highly ineffective, and he broke his spear in half, and he ran forward and challenged the neighboring tribe's warriors to take him on, and it evolved into this fearsome weapon, which is basically a gladius. So it's a stabbing spear. It's not for throwing. It's meant for holding and shoving into your opponent's abdomen from behind a shield. So the Iqua is a proper traditional South African weapon that unfortunately hasn't survived the rigors of time in terms of us having traditional worksmen who still make it. So I've picked up that responsibility, and it's proven to be one of my more popular items that I produce a lot of. So wild boars, we do have them really feral. So we have warthog and we have bush pig. Bush pig's very similar to a boar. So, but I'd hate to go and poke one with this. A lot of people do actually use this to hunt wild boar. I'd rather shoot the thing.
I have finished a 357 off in one of those things, and he carried on coming at me.
100%. So they're crazy, those pigs.
I love that. The Jinko jeans, you can fit pocket carry it. The Jinkos are so on. Did you guys get Jinkos over there?
Yeah, we got something similar. I don't think that we got the brand itself,
but with the giant pockets and the really wide legs, yeah.
I'm actually going to show my dad what a Jinko jean looks like because I don't think he knows.
No,
I don't even know.
I'm gonna have to pull them up and share the screen then.
Yes.
Yeah, here we'll get some images of them right now to share the screen. Yeah, perfect. Found them. Here we go. Let me.
The size is 1/2 meter blade and 1/2 meter shaft. So inches, about 2.5 centimeters to an inch, I think.
Yeah.
So it's about a.
So Jinko jeans were huge. Like, this is a Chinese version of the Jinko.
I like that Jinko jean you just had there.
Here we go. Here's the Jinko jean.
This is like the ultimate skater 90s.
Yeah. These back pockets could easily fit a 40 or a carton of cigarettes. You had side pockets on most of them. Had side pockets that went all the way down, so that you could. I mean, you could put a sawed off in some of the pockets. And they were just all huge, very wide legs and just massive pockets.
I mean, what were we carrying around back in those days?
Well, just I did learn in high school that you could fit a carton of cigarettes, you could fit a 40 in there, you could
put my fifth pocket in there.
Later, folk. Yeah, before we started this morning, I was talking to them about the spears, and I said that over here I could really see that as people going boar hunting with the spears, and Nicola and Hylton told me that that's what they actually sell a lot of them into the U.S. for boar hunting.
Yeah,
you guys are crazy.
You think with as easy as many firearms as we have over here, we'd stick to firearms, but I guess it gets boring sometimes.
Well, it takes a lot of bravery and a lot of skill, I guess, or just a lot of whiskey to do that.
Ari says that Gareth still wears the Jinkos on his bike.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't even know what they were, so I can't get blamed for that.
Lou says he used to be able to fit a whole 6-pack of soda in the back pocket.
Yeah, definitely.
So Gareth was showing a regimental spear just now, which is what this is based on this one.
Yeah.
So that regimental spear, you'll see it's got a notch down at the bottom of the shaft, and that's for when you're marching with it, you put your thumb in there.
Yeah.
And that's to ensure that all the blades are facing the right way, so you can dress properly. So
I wondered what that notch was.
So that's because they were issued to the troops and to Parks Board. So when you're marching in formation, they all point the same way and look uniform.
That's
like a hand
cool.
model.
I never knew what that notch was.
Yes.
And you said yours is from 1901.
Yeah, around it. I'm trying to find more history on it. I
Yeah.
know it was my great grandfather or something like that along the way. Unfortunately, my dad passed away before I got the full story about it. So yeah, it's all I knew is we weren't allowed to play with it as kids, but we used to take it out and go stab trees and throw it into trees and then quickly clean it up and put it back in his cupboard before he got home from work.
Thinking he didn't notice.
Yeah. all
So,
the little bins and things
Yeah.
like that. So it looks like it's in a really, really, really good nick. Though, like obviously weren't throwing hard enough.
So somebody asked if the shaft is 36 inches. I've been trying to work that out. It's about 20 inches.
36. I guess it's like times
it's
2.5.
2.5. So the shaft is 20 inches.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I've taken it. Had to do work at ESCOM. ESCOM's our power supplier here, and
not
I had to go. Well, sort of power supplier, yeah.
Supposed to.
Yeah, the ones that are meant to. But
Yeah.
we had to go. We were going. I think it was 5 kilometers underground, at a dam, and they searched my car, and I'd forgot I had that in there. And they wanted to arrest me because I'm now taking it into a power grid or like and
Gareth's
eventually
gonna
convinced
stage a
them.
spear insurrection.
Well, I told them it's my Zulu AK-47. What they worried about? And,
Well, allowed to
um,
carry a traditional weapon here, so that's allowed. But not where you go.
Yeah,
Don't
about
go there.
5 kilometers underground, I think.
so fortunately, I got hold of the guy in charge there, and I said, "Well, do you want your machine up and running or not?" Suddenly, some very fancy people in suits rock up there and tell them to leave me alone. So they told the police said, "Well, they'll keep it by them until I come out." I threatened them that if it's not there when I come out, there's going to be huge trouble. And they were like, no, it will be. And I got it back when I came out.
Well, that's flipping awesome. I almost lost a whole bag full of stock once because I was driving to a market
Come here.
when I was younger. And I had all of our stock obviously in the bag at the back. And I got stopped by police, and the laws are here, are quite lenient with knives. I think that people aren't used to seeing a couple hundred knives in a bag. So I had to do some negotiating there, or else I was going to be late for work. Hi, baby. Who's that?
This is Saint Lucifer. He
Noisy. They're noisy though.
yeah, he's a husky, but he's 150 pounds and he stands over 7 feet tall on his back legs. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He wanted to. He came up, and he's my pit bull. She's very camera shy, but
Yeah,
he came up and told me that he wanted to say hi. I had to get him on camera. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. He's also, semi-stoned at the moment, so he's really happy. Oh, buddy. Yes, you're a good boy. Okay, good boy. Yes, you got your camera time.
I'm surprised I haven't had a little kid come running in here yet.
Yeah, we haven't had Tao come in and say, or Teo come in and say hi. I said it wrong for a second again. I told her I wouldn't do that anymore. Why is this camera not wanting? There we go. All right. So we've looked at the knife and the spear that are doing the best for you. But I heard that you guys also work with some really interesting blade shapes.
Yeah, we do. We've got quite a few different blade shapes. I don't know if you're referring to one in specific, but we can take you through a couple of them.
None in specific, but I know that there's a couple you'd really like to show that we like to see.
So we like a lot of blades with the story. So blades with some history, just some traditional background. On that point, before we move on from spears, actually, my dad had an incredible opportunity recently to go to Kenya. And we actually had a Masai Mara warrior come and stay by us. It was a bit of a trade exchange. And he actually taught us how to make a traditional warrior spear for them. We haven't made anything more since then, but that was a really cool experience.
That's awesome.
Lagatha.
Lagatha.
Yeah, this is Lagatha. This is Aries EDC. This is one of his custom spikes. And mine is named Lagatha because she bled me right away. She blooded me immediately when I got her. And so we are bonded. And burlap micarta with brass pins and AEPL steel. This is Aries EDC that's in our chat right now. This is my first custom from him. And he also just had he has like just over 30 patterns that he makes, but he just had his first production knife drop with Kubi. And they did a production version of his Bloom, which is this was my EDC fixie for the last 3 weeks as I was getting a good feel for it. I personally am a huge fan of Ultim, as the Kripple Krew is well aware. I have 20 knives with Ultim as the handle material. But
he robbed McDonald's to get their trade.
But this just recently got taken back off the belt so that Lagatha could go back in her spot on my belt.
I love the sex shape.
Yes, I've always been a huge fan of the sex shape.
Yeah,
and it's just so useful.
I've got an Aries as well that's doing its rounds in America at the moment.
It is so gorgeous.
So that's my first full custom. And one day I'll get to see it. Everyone else is enjoying it, which I'm quite happy with at the moment.
I have handled his knife and done some content on it. Gareth was awesome enough to let that knife go around to a lot of the local reviewers here before it goes to South Africa. So after Aries finished it, I had it here, and it has beautiful camo carbon galactic space weave glow in the dark scales with a glow in the dark liner, and it's just an awesome knife.
The glow in the dark is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen any pieces with glow in the dark in them.
Yeah.
It's not.
His is very, very bright when the glow hits. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The nice thing with it is the galactic carbon or whatever. It dulls it down quite a bit, and it's only the liners that light up.
Yeah, it looks black, but it has a lot of green in the carbon when it hits the light.
So it's very nice.
War Room, original member of Kripple Krew Inc. What it do, homie? Leon, welcome. So, now, what else are you guys working on that you would like to share with us?
So here's one I've recently finished. It's a dirk.
That's a real nice looking dirk.
So called this wood is called Chakati. It's from Mozambique. So it's a very dark, very hard wood.
Oh, it was a pain in the ass to carve. Let me tell you, I took forever, and it was just it was so rewarding. But let me tell you, it was very difficult. I had to sharpen my tools every other second.
So I haven't sharpened it yet because I'm still busy with the finishing. I only put an edge on when just before dispatch, because I always see something I want to change, I want to polish, I want to adjust. So I only sharpen them before they go. But that's also a forged leaf spring, brass, and African blackwood.
So that's one of our EDCs here. By the way,
that's a little concealed carry EDC.
Yeah, you just tuck this in under your shoulder. You won't see it. The hardest thing was making the sheet, I think. But
Oh, it's easy for you to say that. You didn't have the handle.
yes,
This is actually a twin piece, so it's got a brother that looks almost exactly alike, and it's actually going out to two brothers. So I'm a bit nervous to say too much, otherwise, if they're watching, they might catch on that it's for them. But it's a pretty cool gift from father to sons.
Yes, yeah, Lou. He said that Rutherford is a Scottish name, and that's why he carries a skin too for his daily carry. But yes, we definitely see some Scottish influence.
correct.
Hello, how are you,
Hi.
sweetheart?
How are you? You.
Did you have a good day?
Good. You have a good day?
Yeah,
There we go.
it's
Okay.
good to see you, sweetheart.
Bye-bye. That took longer than I thought.
Yeah, normally she pops in quick.
Yeah.
Mimo, what up, Mimo? Yeah, everybody's saying hi to Teo now.
Everyone's saying hello to you. Can blow kisses. Quickly. Can blow kisses.
Oh, shame. That's so cute.
Good to see you, sweetheart.
Another father-daughter duo.
Yep.
I'll
Yeah,
try and keep up
my
with that.
daughter graduates in 3 weeks, and that's just crazy to me.
It's crazy.
She's my youngest,
Love you.
Oh my
And-
gosh, that's insane.
and she's going into she'll be starting college in August. It's crazy.
Oh, what will she be studying?
Animal sciences. She wants to be a veterinarian.
That's lovely. I actually worked at a vet for 5 years while studying as well.
That's
So-
awesome.
Wish her
So-
the best. She's going to have so much fun.
Yes.
We want to get her over here so she can come play with our hippos and lions.
I'm sure she wouldn't complain too much at all.
The problem is her dad won't let her.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
why?
Yeah, I'm kind of particular about letting her travel outside of this country. She's kidnap bait.
Yeah, oh, it's so mad.
She, she's tall, very, very thin, blonde, pretty, athletic. I have enough concerns with her traveling in the U.S.
Yeah, but,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I can imagine.
We've got your back, DBD.
Her
You
best
gotta
friend
read
just
it.
got back from a week in Brazil, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a country I'm sending you to, sweetheart.
Well, you gotta come watch. That's the thing. I mean, you do this every second week, every week, every Saturday. Do you not?
Yes.
So you've got, quite a few people that you have to come and visit now.
Yes, I the stream keeps talking about putting together funds to get me to South Africa as the the ambassador to the South African knife community.
Exactly. I think that's a phenomenal idea. I think that we should start that, like a Patreon or something. And we definitely need to get you over here. You can come for us, Viperade, and there won't be any shortage of things to cut with, at least. And then
Yes.
we should get to see it a little bit and get to see some hippos and lions and stuff.
The good thing
I'll
about
take you to meet some hippos.
$10 will get you a fantastic steak.
Yeah, not here, that's for sure.
$10. So that
Yeah.
is like $200. Yeah, a
200,
great steak.
yeah.
Great steak.
Yeah.
$200.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely want to get over there at some point. Gareth's always sending, I shouldn't say all the videos are fun. When he's stuck on the highway because somebody's walking down the highway with an AK-47 after knocking over the armored truck, that's not as fun, but, so it goes.
Another day in Africa.
Yeah, no, there are the downsides, but with everything comes balance. So all of the downsides, it kind of balances out with all of the upsides. I think I've never been anywhere else. I've only been in South Africa, so it's a bit ignorant to say it, but I think that South Africa is the most beautiful place
It
that
is.
I've seen of. So, and I'd like to keep it that way until I have the money to travel.
Sure. Yeah, Rolf
yeah.
says I need a winter home in South Africa. There we go. Get away from the cold over here and go down there.
I know it's freezing today. It's like midwinter. It's 15 degrees Celsius.
But I think they experience much colder.
Oh, no, our winters here are laughable compared to what they go through.
I'm actually sitting here thinking, damn, it's hot in here. And I was going to take my shirt off, and I thought, no, wait, you're unalive. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's almost 60 degrees. Yeah, no, here, Fahrenheit 19 is like 59 degrees. And here it gets down below 0 Celsius. I mean, we get below freezing in the winter frequently.
So how many is that in degrees Celsius?
So let's see if it gets down to, because like it'll get down to let's just go about -14 Celsius.
Oh, no. No. I would be dead.
That's fun.
So let's show you another knife. Can you see a common scheme here?
Oh, what is that called?
This is called a skein. So you have the skein do.
Yeah.
And this is, which means black knife. So this is called a
That's
skein.
a toothpick.
Yeah, so skin, it means knife.
It means knife. So it's more an Irish belt knife rather than Scottish, but same purposes, to poke you in the eye through the visor.
Yes.
So
it's got a wicked long blade on it. I like that a lot.
One of my key drivers is trying to reproduce what I saw in museums that the smiths of the medieval times made with the bare tools that they had. And I always find it incredible what they made, and try and copy what fascinates me. So this is my take on a skein.
That's beautiful. I really like it.
A little bit of detailing over here. But yeah, we're trying to have a bit of fun with this. But staying true as we possibly can to the original shape and purpose. We don't want to bastardize this in a way. But this is also from a file. I don't know. I was trying to show.
That's another Farrier rasp?
So this is another engineering file. Yeah.
A file. Okay. Awesome.
So it's nice. We actually, because our forge blades are all high carbon steel. So it just stays bendy, keeps a good edge. It's quite useful in that once it's reheat treated. So we throw it in the fire, get rid of all of the tempering done beforehand, and then I'm assuming that a lot of the viewers know, obviously the process of making knives. But engineers' files are also made with the same purpose. They're made to be used. So they have to take a little bit of a blow. So we know that the material's good when we get it. So any file that was for use beforehand, it's going to make a really good knife.
That's awesome. I want to say good morning to TKE member Kripple Krew Inc., who also gifted one membership, and that was given to William Hornbossel. Big shout out to TKE. We will give a South African Warhog salute for that one. Big shout out to Pickle Steel also. Thank you, TKE. Kane Miranda, member Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on? Gabe Harlan, good morning. Mick Ranger, member Kripple Krew Inc. Just trying to catch up, make sure I got everybody. If you're just joining us, we have Nicola and Hylton Rutherford from Rutherford Forge, and we have been looking at some sick knives and spears. The Equa was pretty wicked.
I can show it again if you want for anyone who missed.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind showing the Equa again, please.
No problem. So this is my toenail cutter.
Toenail cutter, or the Gareth, the soul patch trimmer.
Yeah, the soul. Also the fingernail clipper. Just like a little bit of...
It's for cleaning your nails. You hold it like this, and you just clean.
Yeah, it's good for taking out slivers.
Yeah, 100%. We find it quite useful. You keep it in your back pocket. So we were saying.
Yeah, Jinko's perfect.
So the wood is Tambuti, and the binding is rawhide. So I'll try and keep it as original and true to the originals as possible.
Yeah. So it's called a Iqua. Iqua.
You got it.
Iqua. So the way it's spelled is IKLWA. We laugh when we're talking about it together. We go, it's the Iqua. So WA. Yeah, so you can also see this has also got a bit of a forge finish on it.
Is
So
it sharpened on the sides?
It is.
This one is, yeah. So the ones, Gareth, that you saw at the Durban Eastern Knife Show, I don't know if you remember, but they're all blunts.
Yeah, they're family friendly.
Yes, that's exactly it. We like people to have a bit of fun. You know, it's a bit of South African history as well. So a lot of the kids will come and run up, and I kind of encourage people to take a picture with it. It's awesome. It's awesome to see something like this. You don't see it on a daily. So
Yeah.
also when you stand, it's a meter. Now I'm a tall girl, and this is quite large. It's quite to be handling. So it's already awesome to like take a picture with it and see it inside and imagine how it was used back in the day. I mean, I can't imagine actually hurling this at someone. I think I would hurt myself as a person. But yeah, it's to put yourself in those shoes when you actually handling it. And obviously, I haven't gone hunting with it. It's quite something.
It's something that people used to live with. Like everywhere they went, that was in their hand.
Yeah.
If any of you ever get time, look up Battle of Blood River. That's
Battle
quite
of
an
Blood
interesting one. That's an interesting one with that.
So
Very
we can
cool.
talk about that
Now,
if you guys want. But,
what was that?
We could talk a little bit about Battle of Blood River and the history thereof if you guys want. Just like a very
That actually would be really cool, but I do have one quick question. What does something like that cost?
So shipped to the US is about $350.
That's not bad at all for all of that work shipped.
Yeah.
That's a big piece.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Steve Jobs with Apple, we want a Rutherford Forge piece in everybody's home, so it has to be affordable.
I think
go.
for the USA is the exchange rate. It's kind of the South African rand is worth nothing, so the exchange rate is very favorable.
Yeah.
Yes,
sitting at
that is
19
something
at
that
the
we
moment.
have noticed. After several of these South African Saturday specials, we've had people from the chat that have placed orders because, like, say, when we had Blix and Blades on, when people found out that they could get some of those knives for less than 100 US, it was just crazy compared to what we would pay, you know, over here. This one is one that I won. Like, I didn't pay for this. This was an Instagram giveaway from Under the Bridge Tool and Scale. And this is his undertow pattern in crew wear with emerald abalone micarta, some carbon fiber, and ram's horn. But this is, ram's horn on the backside.
That's so cool. Can I see the other side again? Sorry, you gotta flip
Absolutely.
I didn't know that there was a micarta on there.
Yeah, it's an emerald abalone micarta, so it has abalone under the burlap. And if you turn it and just look at the side, at the top of it or the bottom, all you see is the burlap weave. But then when you go to the side, you see the abalone.
That's so interesting.
But if I was to buy this, this would have been 450 US.
Okay.
So like
That's
the pricing that we are able to that spear, like Rolf Robertson is saying, that Equa, he's saying that's like 600 to 700 handmade in the US. So not only is it awesome that you know, we get access to some really cool South African made products, but it's actually financially advantageous for us to order our customs from you guys.
But also at the same time, if you guys need help with any of the shipping to get it over to you there, if it's something small and that, I don't mind helping out because I've got packages coming through all the time. So
good morning, Mr. Deadly.
Hi, Miss Deadly.
Love you,
I can
sweetheart.
help wherever.
Okay, first we could talk about the Battle of Blood River. I'd like to know a little bit more about that.
An
Okay, so
interesting one.
I had to check the exact date. So the exact date is the 16th of December, 1838. So it was a battle that happened on I actually don't know how to say it properly. I think it's another one of the click names. So it's Ncome, Nkome River.
That's
And
right.
so there was, I can tell you the exact numbers now. So as you know, the colonials were fighting with the Zulu people at that stage. And currently, in this time, it was the fur trackers and the Zulus that went into battle. So the fur trackers were estimated to be between 25,000 and 30,000 people, and the Zulus far, far outnumbered them. But at this
27,000, I think.
yeah. So it didn't look numbers wise like it was in the fur trackers' favor at that stage. But the thing is that the fur trackers were equipped with guns, and
Big equalizer.
the massive equalizer. And the Zulus only had things like the Ikwas, which didn't work in their favor, and they killed thousands and thousands of Zulu warriors. So many that the river that they were fighting along was running red with their blood. And only one of the fur trackers were slightly wounded in the battle.
That's crazy.
The more interesting battle was the Battle of St. Luana. And that's when the British were sending out troops to quell the Bantu uprising in Natal. And Lord Chelmsford led a battalion of British troops through the Natal Midlands to go and get to the Zulu headquarters, which is up in Zululand. They encamped at a mountain called St. Luana, and the Zulu troops found them there. So they encircled them, and 30,000 of Zulu troops slaughtered 1,200 British troops with the Ikwa. So it's the biggest loss British have ever suffered at a battle overseas in the history of Britain.
Yeah.
Now that one I was aware of because I saw something on that not too long ago that I was watching, and the British did not make it that day.
No. So on the other side of the hill is a place called Rorke's Drift, which is a mission station. And 150 British troops held off 3,000 of Zulu troops for a day and a night. And it's a single action where the most Victoria Cross medals were awarded ever in a single action. So the 12 Victoria Cross medals were awarded to the survivors of the Rorke's Drift.
That's
fight.
crazy.
Yeah.
So Lou has a question on where people can buy the Ikwa.
So you can message us on Facebook. So we are quite active on Facebook. We do dig Facebook because it does do the lives and all of that. So you can message us, or you can give us a WhatsApp number. WhatsApp. Can I share the number? Will it allow me to share the number?
Yeah, you can share the WhatsApp number. I'm also going to show you their Instagram real quick.
Yeah.
This is the Instagram. It's under Hylton Rutherford, and I will drop this link. Just give me the copy link. Thank you. I'll drop this link in the chat, but you can see look at this here. Oh my.
I think we actually have that one to show you guys. Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us the name in person.
No, we'll get to that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just showing some of their setup here from the
I
shows.
put up the Facebook link as well.
Thank you.
So you can see a lot of their stuff here on Instagram. And here is that link. We'll stop sharing the screen and do this. Yeah, Lou doesn't have Facebook. Lou needs to get with the times, but I think he still has a 2-year ban or something before he's allowed to talk to people on social media. I don't know.
My website is Rutherford Forge if you want to get in touch with me there.
Yeah. Also,
So one word, Rutherford Forge.
So our area code is +27. Then it'll be 64-829-2124. So it's +27 64-829-2124. So
I think this is correct for the WhatsApp number.
yeah. Yeah, so that should be the one WhatsApp number. The other, yes, that's perfect. The other number is +27 again, 82-654-9401. So again, it's +27 82-654-9401. So those are our two numbers that you can reach us by.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, War Room. His PO's monitoring all his social media.
He's actually sitting next to him right now.
Yeah. Lou is our resident degenerate. It's okay.
We're just handing out our numbers.
No, he's not. He's only the one that got caught. So in other words, he's too slow. The rest of us are a bit quicker.
We tripped him.
I'm going to tell you another one now.
Do you have that?
I finished today.
Never seen before.
So this handle is the inside horn of a kudu horn. It's the inside
Oh, that's the inside of it.
Yeah, but it's impregnated with resin, but you get this beautiful marbling effect. So once again, the blade is from a lead spring. That sort of thing I sold for about $100. So
we have a couple of cats.
yeah,
I was picking husky hair off my knives a minute ago after he visited, so I understand.
So
Yeah, it's
some of the material I like to use.
I've seen where the outer part of the kudu horn has been used. Like I've seen knives that have that, but I've never seen the inner part where all of those pores are, where it accepts that resin like that.
That's quite yeah. So we waste no part of the animal.
Yeah, we try not to. Oh, we had
we have biltong, not jerky.
Yeah.
Jerky.
I think jerky's got a lot more sugar in it. I've never tried it before. What do you think about it, DVD?
Oh, I love some beef jerky, but I prefer it. I like spicy beef jerky.
Oh, really?
Now, I haven't tried biltong. I keep being told I need to eat some biltong, but nobody has sent me any biltong, so I don't know what it's like.
I don't know if we can get it across your border.
Oh, yeah, we probably can. I mean,
maybe if it's a sealed bag, actually, I must try that.
Yeah, sealed bag, and you lie, but
the problem is it's normally got a whole bunch of knives going with my packages, so I don't want that to go.
Maybe we should send a biltong knife with to get the full experience thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
No, I don't think I've ever met anyone who doesn't like biltong. So it's our equivalent of beef jerky. I think from what I understand, it's less sugary. It's got less preservatives in it because a lot of we buy it here, but a lot of people make their own. My little brother makes a damn good biltong, like really, really good.
I'm coming to visit.
Like it.
Yeah, our like if you buy beef jerky in a store here, it has a ton of preservatives. There are a lot of people that make their own jerkies, especially like your venisons and your elk and such when they hunt. And that stuff, of course, tastes a lot better than the store-bought stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to try me some biltong for show.
Is beef jerky cooked or cooked in any way?
Yeah, dried out.
Okay, because we normally dry ours. We don't smoke it or anything like that. You put it into like a biltong box, if you want to call it that, and we dry it out like that. So there's no smoking or cooking or anything like that.
Yeah.
With biltong.
Yeah, no, a
I
lot
think
of ours is smoked, a lot of it. And
I think jerky is naturally dried, whereas we put vinegar in
yeah, I think
and preserve it with vinegar, and then it's air dried. And
Yes.
gotcha.
I think beef jerky is just naturally dried without any vinegar or spice until afterwards.
You think so?
Yeah.
And I think that there's sugar in it. Has it got sugar in it?
Some of it does. Some of it is pretty
Oh,
sweet.
okay. Yeah.
And again, the difference between a store-bought beef jerky here and something somebody makes is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, America's where they're allowed to sell us all kinds of trash in the store. So a lot of our store-bought stuff is just packed full of chemicals it doesn't need.
Yeah. Oh, that's a true pity. That's why hunting all the way, you know exactly where your meat comes from.
Exactly.
Talking about preservatives, do you guys have one of those knives with the mustard seed? I was so fascinated about it.
That's funny, Gareth, because I was just about to ask the same thing because of the one that she showed at Easter Durban.
Yes.
So I don't. That one has fortunately found the home, but if we can pull up a picture of it, and I can take you through that one because it's also quite an interesting. It's an interesting technique that we employ. So maybe we should show a picture of it quick.
If you want to, if you could send a picture to me real quick on Instagram, I could share it.
Okay, absolutely. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, guys, I'm grabbing out my phone. I don't mean to be rude.
DBD,
Yeah,
if you jump
that's
onto my
Ooh.
YouTube,
Yes.
Ooh,
So
yeah, that's the one that I was just looking at on the Instagram.
So
I like
Yeah.
that. What is that scale handle material?
So something I wouldn't normally use, but I saw it and I was quite interested in it. Sorry, I can't seem to. Old age. So this is an acrylic.
Okay.
So it's a camo acrylic.
It looks really cool.
So I picked it up in a deceased estate sale as part of the material.
And is that one a leaf spring?
This one's a file.
A file?
It's a file, yeah.
figure
I can
that-
see it
that-
down there a little
round
bit
one.
I can see it down there a little bit by the handle, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like the colors on that. The camo looks really cool.
Incidentally, my logo is the medieval alchemy symbol for pulverize.
For
So
pulverized?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's also looks like an H for Hylton. So that's where it comes.
I'm struggling to find a picture of that dagger. Give me 2 seconds.
DBD, if you want, you can show the on my YouTube channel the thumbnail for Rutherford. Was that
Oh,
knife.
yes, that's right. I can pull that up.
Put on the spot. I probably scrolled past it 3 times.
So I love experimenting with different textures and finishes on the blades.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a mirror finish man. I like the natural look of the steel, the natural look of the handles. The mirror polish doesn't do it for me. Mainly because of being a carbon steel blade, if you cut something with it or stab someone with it, any blood or acidic residue is going to stain the blade anyway.
Sure.
So I always finish my knives with a good ferric chloride etch. This one I might probably just finish with a mustard etch as well.
That would look good with that mustard etch.
So I'm thinking of that. That will definitely get a mustard etch.
But now, how long would it take the mustard? Short period of time, because we can actually show it live on.
No, it's
overnight.
Yeah, overnight.
I wish we could have shown you guys like in real time how we do it. I guess we could actually show you. We could, because we're gonna do it, and then we can give you guys an update tomorrow of what it looks like once we wipe it out.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Give me. Let me go show you. Let me go grab the tool.
Go grab the mustard.
I'm gonna pull up the.
There's Matty here. He would like the mustard.
Live, or where we just looking before.
No, go for it.
Here it is. Okay, here I can kind of show that mustard edge from your thumbnail now. Ron Dobbins, what it do, brethren? Member Kripple Krew Inc.
Hello, Ron.
TKE says he likes the knives, but where can he get the bamboo blinds from? He likes the bamboo blinds.
They're going cheap today. Only $100.
We'll bamboozle you.
So this thumbnail right here for Gareth's video at the Easter Durban show has that mustard edge on the blade, and you can also see, let me get it off of, there we go. You can also see that was a file. You can still see the marks there, and that's a beautiful burl handle, I believe.
It is, yes.
Man, that thing is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
I
that
like
one
that.
was roughly 35, or that was 3,500 rand, right?
That's right.
Okay, so that was just under $200, folks.
$200. That's it. Yeah.
That's barely under $200, right? Just consider it $200 for 3,500 rand.
Yeah.
All handmade. Very cool.
Thank you.
That one there, it caught my eyes. Like how, and then Nicole explained how they did it with the mustard seed and all of that, and it's like that's so cool because it really it takes away the shine of a blade, which helps a bit when you need it.
Yes.
So it really looked good how that was done.
I always prefer, I'm like you, I'm not a big fan of mirrored satin finishes that for one, when it comes to reviewing knives and taking pictures, I'm always cleaning the fingerprints off of them, which I don't care when I'm using the knife, but it's annoying for showing them. But I typically prefer a coated blade or just something that's dulled at least, so that it doesn't show everything you're doing with the knife. It ages better, it's more corrosion resistant, and they just look better to me personally, usually, than a shiny blade.
I mean,
And if you ever really need to use it, you might not want the light reflecting off of it before you get a chance.
That's exactly it. So I've actually grabbed what we're going to be using. So do you want to have you guys already looked at the video?
Yeah, I'll show you again what I showed at whoops, did I close it? Of course I did. I'll pull it back up real quick. I'll show you what I was able to show. Come on. I don't know why I closed it, but I did.
Yeah.
Right, class. Today we're going to learn.
Yeah, we're letting you in on all of the trade secrets here. So just
no, this is all on Google anyway.
We will.
So if you want to finish your blade with mustard,
just wait. We're going to show them.
Okay. One more.
Yeah, I've got my knife. I just ordered my mustard.
Yes. It has to be high carbon though. It can't be a stainless steel.
When we're going to say, so get out your mustard.
So you want to grab your hot mustard, your English hot mustard. I think that this one's Dijon, but we ran out, so now we've got the bougie mustard.
The best mustard actually is that yellow shit in the squeeze bottle.
Like the powder.
Like French's or something.
Yeah, because it's easy to apply.
Yeah.
So I mustard edge there.
So we've popped this on. So I'm gonna show the other side. So we're taking this. I've got my mustard in my spoon over here, right here. I'm taking my pinky finger, dabbing it on. Literally just bong, 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 bong. You don't want it to be too even. Kind of.
Do you have to make the sounds every time though to make it work? Like the bomb, bomb,
yeah,
you have to, right?
Magic bong.
Yeah, bong, bong. But that's the bong. You have to add that. It's quite important. So
you can actually see the sound on it when she's done.
The ones that I didn't do the pongs on, those ones can be nice. So it's quite important. But we are here, we are chatting. Have to make some sacrifices. Here we go. So that's our first layer. So we've got a few tiny little dots on there, as well as this side. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to leave this out overnight. to marinate, you know, otherwise it doesn't taste
You got to get that flavor in deep.
I must just
that flavor
say,
in.
please do not lick your knife after you've done this, especially Matty in this faction. Don't lick the mustard off your knife because you might cut your tongue.
A PSA, please do not lick the knife directly off. I actually still have a little bit on there. And then it's gonna leave a really, really lovely like acid etch. So it's a slightly darker tone, so like a cheetah mark on it. And then what we do is we rinse and repeat that process to layer it. Yeah, that's exactly the type of etch that would come out of it. So you actually showed me this one at Durban Eastern Knife Show, and it's really cool. Was it one that you had done the etching on?
No, this one
Jimmy Krew.
Jimmy Krew did for me.
Oh, it's quite stunning. I remember seeing that one, and it's really beautiful. But it's the same principle. It's exactly what I do with my kitchen knife. So I've got a really lovely cleaver that was gifted to me by my dad for, I think, a Christmas gift. But it's stunning. I love it. And a lot of people shy away from using high carbon steel as kitchen knives because they're like, oh, it rusts. I kind of let it rust. I kind of encourage a bit of the rust. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of bath it in vinegar afterwards, and it kind of leaves that etch where the rust was. And I dig the look. I let it look.
Or a patina.
A patina.
Yeah, a patina.
This is another one at Jimmy's.
Yeah, this is another one of Jimmy Krew's.
Oh, that's cool. It kind of looks like the Electro, what's it called? Oh goodness, words.
Yeah, this is Jimmy Krew.
Lightning Anna.
Yeah, he's a member of our community that he takes budget knives and dyes the scales, customizes blades and stuff, and then he donates them to channels to give away as reviews. And to give away as giveaway prizes when we when we hit milestones. So Jimmy has allowed me to give away probably close to 10 customized knives now that he's made.
That's incredible.
I call him Uncle Jimmy because he's like my big uncle.
Here one more time is another shot from Gareth's thumbnail of that mustard etching on that gorgeous dagger there with the burl scales.
So if you ever want to do on your knife, just remember the etches around the dots, not underneath the dots. So you have to leave spaces between the mustard.
Yeah,
that looks really cool. So what would? Oh wait, I already know that was we know that one was $3,500, so just under $200.
Yeah. So yeah, roughly. So that one was actually went to the gentleman that I did the custom order of the dirks for. So
nice.
For his sons, and then he came to say hi at Huntex, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous! I have to have it." So like, you can have it.
So
yeah, I'm so glad. Also, I know the guy that I went to, and I know that he's going to take phenomenal care of it, and he'll use it, and it'll be very cherished. So that's always great knowing as well.
So I know you're working with. Go ahead, Gareth.
If you look at my video there, we're at the Easter Knife Show. It might look very shaky. That's because my eyes were kind of like stuck, and I was like,
"I want that one."
Just staring at that one.
Yeah, no, it had I don't know if you remember, Gareth, but it had a sister blade almost. So it had a cleaver that had the same.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it had the same material as someone else, but it wasn't a dagger, so it wasn't like as. But yeah,
I was distracted. That one looks so nice.
Oh, that looks like a wicked kitchen knife.
It is quite cool. So this is very similar. Actually, it's a bit different, but it's very similar to the one that I have that I was talking about earlier on. Except this one's a reinforced wood. So it's another wild olive bull. It's really
That wood looks gorgeous.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. We favor the bull, obviously, like everyone else, because it shows that texture and that it kind of looks like you know when those videos back in the day where they used to do like they dropped some like gold in water and it
Yes,
all the
to the swirls.
exactly like that, but in the handle. I have to show you our one knife in use at the moment. We're having ice spine for dinner, so by us it's
Having what for dinner?
ice
Oh,
spine. So my mom was literally just using our kitchen cleaver. To
hell
cleave it
yeah!
apart.
Hell
Right?
yeah!
So this is what ours looks like after a little bit of use with the patina, and obviously you know ice spine on it.
So we actually do use our knives at home.
Yeah.
What is ice spine? That's what it's
a pickled. Yeah.
Yeah, pickled and then broiled and boiled.
Yeah. And then they fried. And then they fried afterwards.
That looks really good. Like I want a chunk.
Yeah, it is good. They're like this normally. They're big. So when we go away for work, because you know we do that a lot. I like going and buying ice spine because then I know I've got lunch for the next day too.
I just want to say, Lou, the number's working. Thank you. It just popped up on my screen. So thanks for popping me a message. As well as I want to say thank you to Derek. I've been seeing all of your likes popping through and up on our notifications. We really, really appreciate the support. Also to everyone else, I see that we've got a couple new follows. So
Awesome.
to all of you guys.
And
Lou's a
just so
stalker.
you know, if you have to block Lou, we understand. You know, you can always report him to us.
Yay!
That's awesome.
But yeah, thanks guys. We really, really appreciate it. It's really sweet. We got a couple of others to show you guys if you want to see.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what we're here for, right?
Yep.
We like knives.
Obviously, because we did quite well at Huntix, we kind of we lost all of our stock.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
No, it is a very good thing. We've got Outdoor X coming up at the end of this month, so we've been working very, very hard to try and get as much stock together as possible, as well as some of our orders that came there from. So I will also be doing a YouTube channel soon where we talk about more of the history of knives. I'm working on the videos, so I will see you guys there. It'll just be Rutherford Forge on YouTube. But
that's cool.
Another one of our kitchen
It
pieces.
is cool.
So everybody, make sure you is that Rutherford Forge account active right now?
It's active right now. You'll see there's a couple of videos that we've reposted from previous things that we've done.
All right, I'm going to pull it up right now.
We don't really. It's not really. I haven't posted any of the videos that we've been doing. We've been working on. Oh my goodness, English. Sorry. Obviously, the Ritalin is running out.
You want some of mine?
Don't worry, I have plenty. It's just getting onto them and taking them at the right time. That's the difference. So yeah, there we go.
Here is the Rutherford Forge. I'm gonna share the link. Whoop, get this out of the way so I can share the channel.
Perfect.
And folks,
and you'll be a couple of my videos pop up on there soon. I just don't want to disappoint anyone, so I'm putting up a few to start so that you don't see one awesome video and think, oh, Nicola, where's the rest?
I'm gonna put this I'll pin this link real quick, Rutherford for YouTube. There we go, folks. I'm gonna pin that so that everybody can give Rutherford Forge a follow. They're at 41 right now. Let's start bringing that up.
Thank you.
45 already. Yay.
Yes. But yeah, thank you guys. So if you go see there, I'll be talking about we've got a lovely gentleman. His name is Colin. He's a very loyal client of ours, and he's actually ordered a set of 8 chef knife. So for us, it's a big order altogether, especially being high carbon and Damascus, which is always cool to work with. So we've been playing around with a lot of our chefs and our kitchen knives and things like that. And this is another piece that has come out of the recent works. So this is a grand chef knife. So it's a large kitchen knife.
Yeah,
That looks nice.
that looks real
I like-
nice.
I like that handle.
Pine cone, yeah.
That's
How
pine
cool is
cone?
that? That's pine cone in resin.
That is
How sick
cool.
that? And it's also got a little bit of like you can't really see it on the video, but it's also a little bit opalescent. So then I'm just trying to give it a bit of a semi-shim down. Take a look at it there. Do you see it? Oh, there we go.
Oh, that really shows through the layers of the pine cone itself.
I thought that was
That's
cool.
nice.
Did you guys do the resin work on the pine cone?
So,
Or is it a material that you can order that way?
so it was made by another gentleman, another knife maker. So this was from the deceased estate. So it's also a way of us preserving some of his work. His name is
Eric Els.
Eric Els. So his wife was lovely enough to contact us and just ask us if we'd be interested in picking up some of the knife materials. So I don't want it to go unacknowledged. This was his work, and he was also a phenomenal knife maker. So this is one of the cool pieces that we picked up from his estate.
Is it
Yeah,
in
he was
relation to
very good.
DBLs?
No.
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 Is it?
Okay. I was
No.
curious because that DBLs is a name from there that I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I don't think they are. When I was busy doing my research on DBLs and that, it was definitely two separate accounts and that. From Elsblade.
Aldo was saying yes, they're cousins.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. But yeah,
That's
so that's
interesting.
Yeah, I just heard the name Els and I figured it had to be, or I had to ask at least.
I had no clue. I'm also learning today. Like we're both
Me
learning
too.
today.
Unfortunately, Gareth, when he learns, he doesn't retain. So he may be learning, he just won't remember.
Well,
If it's not bright and shiny, I don't remember.
don't worry. We've got a couple more times to go over it. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, what channel is this again? It's I do kind of get distracted with a lot of things. Like I'm playing with that now, and I think it's probably about my 10th knife I've had in my hand since we've been on.
Like I said, we've actually worked through all of our stock, and we're busy putting together stock at the moment. So we've got a in progress piece here that I'd like to.
So I want to show you how I use horn. So this is Les Fork horn.
Oh wow!
So I cut it down and I flatten it out.
That
to
looks
beautiful scales.
wicked.
It's very similar to that ram's horn piece that you were showing us earlier. So that
Sure.
would be the textured side. So we've taken the textured side from both ends on the horn, and we've put it down to, and then this is the piece that we're going to be putting together.
That is really
like
cool.
that.
That's gonna give a lot of grip.
Yeah.
I quite like the patterns on the inside of that horn.
Yes, the pattern on the inside looked gorgeous as well.
Oh, this side.
Yeah.
It's quite gorgeous. Because it's like a little bit of the lighter.
So I have to heat it up on the inside with a blow
Okay.
torch. Then I clamp it down to flatten it, and that's what you're seeing there is the burnt scorched bit.
It looks
That looks nice.
that looks cool too.
It smells delicious as well.
Speaking of Eric Els, Aldo says, in memory of Eric Els, who he was extremely fond of and owned loads of his knives, his last design was a folder that Pickled Steel is going to be producing, with all of the money going to his wife Jennifer and his kids.
Well done.
Oh, that's cool.
That is awesome. Is it what is the name of that knife going to be, Aldo? Is it going to be the Eric Els, or what are you going to call it? And then Fook wants to know, what is your gnarliest beef jerky offender? So So, when we talk about having to use your blade for organic purposes, we call it beef jerky defense to keep you two happy. And so he's wondering what your most wicked one. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so this is a talon. It's typically known as a talon, the shape, but it's a tactical that we are most fond of making.
And is that sharpened on both sides?
It is, yes. So this handle is a remnant of my national service uniform.
Really turned into my Carta?
Yeah, I did my army stint in 1981-82, and these are my old army browns, the Nutria that we were issued with. Just lay it up with black fabric.
That is really cool.
I finally found a use for it.
There you go.
It's a really good one. It's a good memorabilia piece. We're gonna go to there.
Talon, I like that. Have you sold many of those? Those are wicked.
So that goes locally for under $100.
Yeah. So for us, it'll be like 1,650 rand.
Yeah, that is a little less than $100 here. That's like $90. And wow, yeah, evil, wicked, mean, and nasty. That's right, Jim. And Lou, less than $100 US. Now shipping, there's also going to be shipping, but as you know, there's always boxes coming from South Africa to here. And if a box times with something that's already headed this way, could help you out a little on the shipping.
Yeah, I'll help you with that if you guys need whenever. Obviously, I'm not going to just send enough that over, but when I've got stuff coming over, I'll send it with it. Not a problem.
That would help so much. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, what I find is a lot of the people, and I can't remember. I was speaking with Francois M. I forgot his surname. I always forget his surname.
What's Francois' surname?
Which one?
Starts with an M. It starts with an M.
I can pull it up on your channel real quick, and
it's not up there yet. I'm holding out on his because he's coming through too late. So.
Yeah,
man.
Aldo knows his name.
Yeah, there we go.
Aldo can tell us.
So I've just gone lost of thought. Sorry.
There's also there's here. There's the sun. Isn't there?
He was at the Eastern Knife Show in the far corner with the folders that are engraved.
Oh, that would be what's the folders?
Yeah.
The sun.
Mason. Yes, it's Mason.
I'm going to show this Eric L's folder real quick from Pickled Steel. This is what's going to be the Eric L's folder. Pardon me, that Aldo was talking about, and all proceeds from this folder will go to Eric L's wife and children. But it's going to have his name engraved on the back spacer, titanium pocket clip. You're going to be looking at titanium liners with a hollow grind on 160 blades, 160 thousandths blade stock thickness. That's going to be a nice, solid blade.
That's nice.
Incredible. Thank you. That is an incredibly sweet thing to do. And Jennifer, his wife, definitely will appreciate everyone's support so much.
That's awesome.
She's proper, they're salt of the earth people. So I think supporting what's left of him and his legacy and his craft, it's 100% courage.
Yeah.
So one like that would go for about $100.
So you can get the skin do for $100 roughly.
Yeah.
That's and if you're gonna have handcrafted with natural handle materials, And not only are you getting a cool South African made knife, but with real Scottish ancestry.
That's it. The Rutherford of Roxburgh. That's us. I might even send you a picture of me in my kilt.
Oh yeah, my dad.
Just not up the kilt, huh?
Gareth tries to call his a kilt. We told him it's just a mini skirt, but he disagrees.
It depends who's wearing it. If you're wearing it, then it's a skirt.
I have incredibly cool to show you guys that we were working on earlier. But do you guys recognize this? From just
the
now?
mustard.
Yes. Look.
It's already
Yeah.
giving you some color and acid already. That's cool. And
Yeah,
that's 20 minutes.
Just 20 minutes. So we'll leave it on overnight. Obviously, this is a lot lighter than what we put out. So we just put it on just before Betty Bye time and go take a nappy poos, and then we come out to already sick.
Perfect. Yeah, Jim Miller says he's going to be ordering Skin Do after the first of the month.
Oh yeah. I think.
Thanks, Uncle Jim.
I always love it when knife makers are able to get some orders from these. That's fantastic.
The nice thing is as well is yes, they get orders now, but they also get put on the radar so that people can see it and they go, oh yeah, wait, I was looking at those at a later stage, or I've got a little bit of extra money. Let me, because you guys would also do custom stuff for people as well, right?
Our stuff is custom,
Yes.
The majority of
where somebody can get hold of you and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I like this knife, but I like that finish. Can you do this handle? And it gives them their own personal knife.
100%.
That's exactly it.
I love the challenge of meeting somebody's expectations.
Yeah.
Especially if they have interesting handle material they want to incorporate.
Also, we very much care about the story. So it's really cool when it goes on to have a story of its own.
Nice. Do you guys do much with giraffe bone?
I do.
So I'll tell you about that. So we do a lot of trade exchanges, obviously, because we have a lot of hunters in the country. So it's awesome. The hunting season comes around, we do an exchange for the pelts and anything that comes from their hunt, even meat, because we all need to eat. But we once got a giraffe bone, but it didn't go through any of the processing, nothing like that. So it rocked up. We're all super psyched. It's awesome. It's huge, and we know that we're going to make so many awesome handles from it. And we opened it up to this rat, and it stinks to high hell. I've never ever felt anything like that before in my life. I think it's like impregnated in like my frontal lobe. It's like something that hits your face and it immediately goes like right into your sinuses, and it's something that you have nightmares about for a week thereafter. So we chucked it on top of the workshop roof. It's corrugated tin, and we forget about it. I think for like 2 years almost. It was like the foulest smelling thing ever. And I think all knife makers who's ever worked with giraffe bone knows it's not just the smell then. It stinks in general. Like when you're working with it, when you're sanding it down, it's probably the worst smelling bone that makes like one of the nicest looking bone handles, because it's quite porous, like closer to the inside, and on the outside it's quite smooth. So you get a lot of different variation with just one giraffe bone. But it is an absolute pain to work with. It smells rotting dentist chair. It's terrible.
Yeah, Blixum Blades when Justin was on, he showed some giraffe bone that had been dyed and resined, and the way that it takes colors with those pores is just beautiful. The marbling that it pulled out of it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Pickled steel. Oh, go ahead, Gareth.
The giraffe bone is on the CITES list, so if you are going to look at something like that, maybe call it oxbone. That you've ordered oxbone on the
Oxbone.
handles. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's camping equipment.
That makes sense.
It's the same with most African woods. You want to be calling it African hardwood, all of it.
Yeah,
It's
just to avoid regulations, stupid shipping regulations.
Yeah, it's not just that. We've got something called Tumbusi, which is native to Africa, and it's actually killed villagers in the evening because they'll pop it in the fire, not thinking much about it, fall asleep around the fire or in the room where the fire is, and it's toxic fumes. So you fall asleep and you pass away in your sleep. So
Oh wow!
be careful of Tumbusi, I guess.
So Pickled Steel have asked the interesting question there. So what does the future hold for Rutherford Forge? So I've been going at it 20 years solo. I've survived and grown every year. I'm not getting younger. I now have my new marketing and sales director on board. And Nicola's just going to elevate our sales and production to a whole new level. So our next venture will be definitely trying to get to Blade Show next year.
Yeah.
So
That would be
want to
awesome.
get put into the US market. Our market here is fairly limited, I think. And to answer the second part of your question, the view of the current custom market in South Africa is driven mainly by a lot of unemployed, middle-aged white people who are finding themselves having to do something.
Across and trade.
And no disrespect to the guys who are producing really nice stuff, but they're making kit knives. So they buy ready cut blanks and put a handle on and pawn it off as a custom blade.
But that's where me and my dad maybe disagree a bit. I believe that just as much effort goes into it. So it's not to say that it's lesser than. It's just that there's many similar to it.
So I think unless you can just carry on differentiating and sticking with something that's going to build your brand, a lot of these guys aren't going to survive, unfortunately. So I think I've carved a good niche for ourselves in the market in terms of what our brand looks like. And it's not going to change. So I've gained a reputation for providing a rustic knife, but of high performance, and that's where my values always have been focused on. Is it has to cut? It's a knife. It's got to cut at the end of the day. It has to hold its edge, and it has to be able to be sharpened properly. So my focus is on the steel and the quality of the steel, rather than fit and finish at the end of the day, but also creating unique pieces that are uniquely ours.
For the working hand.
I'll never buy template knives. The only one I do that's of a set design is a lion knife, because that's a replica of a historical piece.
Which makes sense.
Yes. So we will continue to innovate as much as we can in terms of fit and finish, textures, and different types of knives. I've come out with a range of tactical equas, so many stabbing spears. So we'll see where they go, but they're limited at this stage to a few local outlets, and we'll drive it from there.
Yeah, I definitely see an equa in my future, 100%.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
Absolutely an EDC belt knife of some sort as well.
Yes.
When you run out of bullets, the equa is going to be there still on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Rolf Robertson has a question about African woods. He's asking about a wood that has a red and black grain, and it's so hard that it can chew up a chainsaw blade.
Yeah. So I saw that, and red. Our local redwood is called red ivory, but it hasn't got a black grain. So I'm wondering if it's not the Padua. There's something called Padua. It's reddish with a dark grain. And there's also another wood, which it could be called snake bean. But they're all in the African hardwood category, and they're all equally as hard.
Yeah, African hardwood is bloody hard. It's not fun to work with if you're trying to carve something unique into it. But I don't know specifically that piece of wood. We actually need to. I'm quite interested which one that is. So if you find out, Rolf, please do let us know, because we're also quite curious.
Just wanted to show that we've gained 11 subs on YouTube. Rutherford Forge up to 51 right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That's so awesome. So I've got something pretty interesting to share with you guys. So we do mostly custom pieces. So we had a very unique order come in recently, and I know that you guys have quite a couple of other knife makers in chat. So I want to ask them if they've ever done anything similar, or if anybody else has looked for anything similar. But the African community in South Africa is very driven by spirituality and ancestors when it comes to religion. So we got a really interesting custom piece recently. We've done our first guidance.
That's
When you use it, it summons water. It's a water divining rod.
Yeah, so so the idea is that in every religion or every belief system in the past, there has been somebody who controls water. In Christianity, it would be, Jesus parted the seas. There'd be Poseidon and ideas like that. So he's the Zulu, almost shamanic version of this. And if you know anything about South Africa and its oceans, currently we're having a bit of a hard time with our Durban waters, Gareth. I'm sure that you can speak more on that, but
They're full of shit.
Yeah, so we're trying everything. So his whole idea is that it's kind of like a staff. He currently uses 2 staffs, and he wanted something that more represented the sea, and it's more about him and spiritually cleansing the seas. And less about the piece, but the piece is it's so cool. We've never done anything like that before, and we want to know.
That was really wicked looking. Can we see it one more time? Yeah, all those said Durban water is pretty shitty currently.
Yeah, they are. The government hasn't been able to upkeep on the sewer line and stuff like that, so that's all been leaking into the water drains, the stormwater drains, and going into the ocean. And it's
great.
Not all areas, but some areas, the Nicola numbers have shot up because of that. So yeah. They're full of shit.
Yeah. And you said that's 8 feet tall?
So it's 1.82 meters. So that's probably about 6 foot.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
1 point.
Very cool.
5.
It's a little bit taller than me, actually, the whole piece. So.
And what is it made out of?
So our normal high carbon steel.
Really?
So it's actually a very good quality trident.
It's
like the best quality tridents out there at the moment.
So you said that's for a Zulu guy?
Yeah,
because it looks very Hinduish.
So we took a little bit of creative liberty. He wanted something a little bit plainer, but we took a little bit of creative liberty with the twills. We were thinking, the oceans,
the water. It makes sense, and it gives it more of a ceremonial feel.
If you guys want to check him out, he's on TikTok. He's got a couple of 100,000 followers. I think he's got something like 300,000 followers. His name is Ndlondlo Yamanzi, and
I'm not even trying to spell that one.
But yeah, no. So I think Yamanzi means water. So it's pretty cool.
He's the king of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathleen says it looks like Neptune's trident. Very cool.
Yeah.
Same guy, different sculpture.
Yes. So that's exactly it. The idea is that in every single culture, he kind of just wants to hearken on that.
Yeah.
People can look at it immediately and think water.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it definitely, you see it for sure.
We should put a shad on the end of it, and then no, definitely.
So I'm really it's like, because it's steel and it's 1.82 meters tall. I'm pretty keen to see like how he works with it, and he's going to be in the when he works currently in the water. He actually goes in the water, so it's going to be going in the water with him, which is I'm pretty keen to see what type of videos come out of it. obviously it's been powder coated, so we're not too worried about the rust. I'm
I
worried
was
about
gonna say, has he been briefed that he needs to oil it down?
Yeah. So what are you trying to show there?
This is a red wood with a black grain. So this is Padao.
Okay, so Fook actually had the guess right. He was that was what Fook guessed earlier.
Yeah.
Well done. Definitely.
Or maybe it was Derek that guessed, but I thought it was Fook.
I saw Fook with it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But yeah, have you guys seen what's the most unique piece that you guys have seen that have come out of like a bladesmith's forge?
Oh.
I'm really asking you now, aren't I?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because the cool thing about what you guys do is you can make anything that people want.
Yeah, literally.
That's really cool. Yeah, I have not seen anybody else do a custom trident. I will say that.
No, we don't worry.
I've never seen anybody else do one of those. You guys have the market cornered right now on custom tridents.
Actually, I've had a customer of ours where, because we do the laser cutting and that will work, we sell the machines, and we've got a customer here where he's done a lot of cutting out the tridents for that's why I said it reminds me of a Hindu one. They put it on their gates.
But they were doing it for decoration.
Yes,
so.
theirs will definitely not hold up like yours would.
Lou is all about this grabbing a pumpkin and doing a trident test stab test.
The closest we have is a gem squash, so the effect won't be like quite the same. Cheers, guys.
A watermelon.
There's a chap who, an American guy, ordered one of my equas, and he does a lot of videos chopping pumpkins in half.
Oh yeah, it's so cool.
So he's a fireman, and I forget his name. Steve, but his name's Steve. But it's not meant to be used as a chopping tool. So,
sure.
But I'm glad they survive his videos.
And that means that's got a pretty sharp edge for a spear if it's doing chopping like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the other most unique piece that we've ever done that also I'm chuffed as cheese about is Sony actually approached us a couple of years ago. And I don't know if you have any gamers. Do we have any gamers with us today?
I'm sure we've got some in here. Knives and Pizza, Dane Gavilovsky. What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, Dane. My son
Lou was a gamer until he got banned from all the chats.
So there's the God of War, the God of War, the second game that came out, relatively the most recent God of War game. The axe, the Bison axe.
Yes.
So my dad was actually commissioned to make that axe for Sony. So there's one currently sitting in Sony offices, and then we made another one which was part of a competition. And we actually have a video that goes with it that I'm sure that we could look for on YouTube.
That's crazy.
They came by and they saw the advertising for it. But it was so cool because I'm an avid gamer, big user like that.
And God of War is a great series.
It is phenomenal. And when that news came in, I was like, oh, Teddy, do you even know what God of War is?
I didn't know, but I saw the axe. I've got to make that thing.
I was like, oh my God, hero.
Yeah, I've loved the series since the first games back on PS1 or PS2. PS1 with God of War 1. Yes, and played them through the PS2, 3. Played them through the Vita with the Chains of Olympus and the handheld games. So making that axe is really cool.
Oh, I gotta show it to you. I'm gonna send you.
It took me about a month.
Yeah, if you send it to me on Instagram, I'll share it for sure. Oh, go ahead, Hylton.
So I said it took me about a month to make a full battle-ready replica of the game one, but it's probably one of the coolest projects I've ever done.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing that one.
I don't even have words. I couldn't shut up for like weeks about it. It was so cool. So I'm sending it to you now because also
Awesome.
the YouTube. I think it was the first time that we were introduced to videos in YouTube, and they came by and they brought all of their fancy cameras and stuff to film my dad working, and the video that came out there afterwards, it's just like chef's kiss. It's so cool. It's kick ass.
Let's share that video real quick. Mick Ranger says his buddy was the voice of Raul Menendez in Call of Duty. That's cool. That's awesome.
That is so cool. And there's so many, both of my parents, they're also very into Call of Duty. Their clan is called, what is it?
No,
The parental.
I don't want everyone to be getting slaughtered all the time.
The parental unit.
Yes.
And it's so funny because like I don't do a lot of points and shoots, but my parents 10 out of 10 into that.
I like my Call of Duty, and I walked through the door the other day after getting home from work, and I looked because I've got our TV like on this wall and a gaming TV on that wall, and normally Teo would be playing. Teo and Bryce, my son, they'll be playing Minecraft but Bryce enjoys his Call of Duty. And I heard the Call of Duty going, and I thought, okay, well, Bryce must be sitting there. And I had a look, and there's Teo on the leather seat, running around. And I was actually watching her, and I thought, you know what, for a 6-year-old, you're doing bloody well.
That axe came out gorgeous.
I know, right? So,
just amazing. The shot they got of it going in the oil was great.
Oh yeah.
You guys, that was showing, right? Everybody saw that.
Unfortunately,
Okay, let's try it one more time then. It was because I was presenting on Instagram, but it popped a new window. Here we go.
No.
Here we go. Now everybody should see this.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna hide this. And this I just watched it while you guys were talking because I thought it was showing. And they really recorded this really well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I guess they have the budget, so they really, and it was so cool. That ending shot.
Yeah, look at this axe, folks. Look at the work that he's doing on this. And then my favorite shot of this is coming up pretty soon. I really need this shot right here.
Oh, yes.
That is such a perfect shot.
That is very cool.
And then you've got the axe. And that is gorgeous.
That's the money shot.
Yeah, that is the money shot. I think that's it was incredibly cool. We've done a couple of some replicas for gaming stuff and just like geek culture things. So we recently did the sword for Dune. So
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a gentleman, Colin. I mentioned him earlier on. We're doing the kitchen knives for him. His son had gotten a replica of Paul Atreides' sword, which is pretty cool.
The nice thing is it's not just a replica; they're actually usable.
Yes. That's like I was thinking about that axe. That axe, sure. Yeah. If you were to buy a copy of that axe here in America, it would be dull. It would be to hang on a wall. But that one, you could use that for the rest of your life.
Sure.
Do you do axes as well?
I do. Yes.
Quite a fair amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get one for camping, and I just look at these ones in the shop and think, that's not cool. That's not fun.
Yeah.
You walk around the campsite at the 4x4 place with this huge axe on your shoulder. Okay, I'm ready to chop wood.
A bullet claw thing at the end, just like double-sided.
Yeah, that's like, you might have the bigger 4x4 than me, but I've got the better axe.
Hey, have a great night, Aldo. Good to see you, homie. I appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah,
and I'll give you a call.
I qualify, Fook. Fook says you have to have at least 4 inches of beard to use that axe.
I say,
Please block,
he
please
used the
block
axe
your
to shave
ears,
when he was
Nicole.
done.
I won't say what I was going to say.
Too small for that, because the axe was technically made by dwarves, so I asked him, you must crouch in the videos, just get down a little bit.
you have to do it 1.5 times the size that I proposed. That's
Yeah.
No, make it bigger.
It has to be
make
big.
it bigger.
Big.
Colonel looks like you, make it bigger.
It's called Leviathan.
It is.
So it has to
Sure.
it has to be impressive size-wise as well, you know?
Yeah, it came out amazing. It looks like the one in the game. Phenomenal job.
Yeah. And the one, so it was part of a competition. So we had to make 2. So one sits in Sony in their offices. And then the other one actually sits in some dude's home at the moment. So
Somebody got to win the match and won.
Be careful in Chatsworth. Someone might come at you with that axe.
Where's the axe?
In Chatsworth.
Oh,
No,
nice.
yeah, he said
You know what?
one of them is at Sony and a gamer won the second one. So somebody
So-
playing the game won the second one.
Chatsworth is sitting.
Either game.
Chatsworth is the neighboring suburb to me. They're literally like 5 k's that way.
Chatsworth?
So Durban is home to it's the
Durban
largest
poison.
population of Indians. Yeah, and Durban poison. It's the largest population of dot Indians, not red Indians, in the world, other than in India. And Chatsworth is like one of the areas that they live in. So we get lots of nice curries and samosas and stuff like that.
Nice.
They've become culturally different to Indians. So
Very
we
much.
find like we've got something specifically South African. It's called a bunny chow. It's a dish, and it's got
It's a Durban dish.
Yeah, it's specifically an Indian Durban dish, and it's delicious. So it's like it's a curry, but in like a quarter loaf of bread. So you
Ooh.
like out the bread to make like a bowl, and then they put the lump at the top, and then you got the bread bowl, and then the curry inside of it, and you use what was scooped out to scoop up the sauce.
The sauce and
That
the
sounds
juice.
really good.
So that was designed, or whatever you want to call it, basically because years ago the Indians were like slaves here for the sugar farms, and they didn't have containers to take their food in. So they took half a loaf of bread, they put their curry in it, and then they wrapped that up in newspaper, and that became the container for their food, and that's what they ate.
Very
And
cool.
now,
Hey, Josh, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out, Josh. Always good to see you, homie. Knives and Pizza did have a question for you guys, and that's: have you made any mini axes, and are they harder to make than a full size?
So what define a mini axe?
I'm guessing it's kind of like a hatchet.
Yeah, no, plenty. So I don't make anything that isn't properly functional. That's why I ask. There's a lot of guys that make mini axes.
Yeah. So before you move on to that, how many we can go is we have necklace. The reason I asked, we have necklace axes and hammers, so we can make mini axes.
Do you have any of those that you can show?
Oh no, not at the moment.
Sold them all.
Yeah, my dad,
that's good.
My dad was wearing one, and he actually sold it off of his neck at Huntex.
So what do you sell the necklaces for?
So they're around 300 Rand. So in dollars, I don't know. I can't.
That'd be pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is $16.
Yeah. I've had to learn to do this math quickly.
So I'm going to just show you that quickly. It's another one of my kitchen knives. Unfortunately, I don't have many EDCs left after the shows, but
again, that's a good problem to have.
100%. I'm not moaning.
Suffering from success.
So once again, it's a forged leaf spring blade. It's got a hammer texture there, so I actually hammer this texture in. And this is a maple burl handle actually that I got.
It's got beautiful coloring in it.
That's lovely.
I like
I
that
must-
finish. I like that finish a lot.
I must say, with the sorry to go back to the mini stuff, South Africa seems to be going through a trend of mini knives. There's a lot of people making mini knives and stuff like that, and it's just as much work going into those little knives
Yes.
as
Yeah.
what you
Like
see the full size.
smaller than this.
Smaller,
No,
smaller,
like
Yeah, like
So
this is as small as I go because this is my neck knife, one of my neck knives.
it's not a usable knife at all. It's definitely
Gotcha.
a collector piece. So the guy that I know of, his name's Warren. Warren? Or is it Jack?
Jack Connors.
Jack.
Yeah.
And he makes a whole bunch of miniatures that are pretty cool. And he actually had the reason why I think Gareth is also bringing it up is he had a whole bunch on display at the Durban Eastern Knife Show. And
They were
that's
scale for scale.
Yeah.
And they were like they're as large as my pinky. Like they were tiny. And
That's
I've
a
never
lot
seen
of work for something that small.
Yeah. But those go for about $20 to not $20 to $30. $2,500.
Yeah. Same price as a big knife.
Yeah, so it's the same price as the big knife because I think it's made exactly as a knife would be, just on an incredibly small scale. Yeah. So the same amount of work goes in. So it's just like I think for collectors who already have their bedrooms absolutely full of knives, they can collect more knives.
Donnie
It's
Blood,
power
good
work.
afternoon, brother. We got another knife maker in the chat.
How's it, Danny? Danny's making some good stuff as well.
Some insane handmade folders. Like, the work that that Donnie does with knives, his Ripley's, his Vapors, just crazy work. He'll be a Blade Joe.
Okay.
American, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It would be an absolute dream to go to the Texas Blade Show in April. So I've always been a bit enamored by America and like American culture. So I would love
Texas will tell you they're not American. Texans will tell you they're Texans. Texas culture is definitely separate. We're looking at probably moving down that way because that's where Deadly Daughter is going to be going to college. And I was stationed down there. What's that?
That's where the buoy comes from. The battle of where it was the Mexicans versus the Texans.
Yep, in San Antonio, the Alamo.
Yes, that's the one.
My bucket list is buoy number 1, which is very interesting. It looks more like a big butcher's knife than anything else. But
it was it was afterwards that he really defined that buoy shape that we know when he was trying to come up with the best knife for hunting, skinning, and fighting.
I think probably most importantly, because I'm trying to think of skinning with a buoy, and I can't imagine it being all too easy, to be honest with you. I think that other piece that you had, your other EDC with a bit of the curve, the short blade one.
The Aries.
The Bloom. This one?
Yeah, that's what I imagined skinning with. Maybe with a bit more of a curve.
But,
that's a bit different to a buoy.
A buoy was a do-everything knife back in the day.
So his knives, he got into, well, according to his brother, he only ever got into one fight, but legend has it he actually got into a lot more than just one fight. There's a very interesting story behind him. And yes, I can remember because I only learned it last week. But there was a lot of interesting stuff that came up because the guy that where I was, he's a knife fighter, well, self-defense with knives. And they just concentrate on the buoy, and he's done a lot of research with guys in the States and here and apparently Bowie said that the buoy is not done yet,
Oh,
and
so
it's still developing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's with anything. Like you have to like evolve, and our day to day evolves as well. So what the day to day was 100 years ago is not what the day to day is today. So
Sure.
it's like they say martial arts is its own weapon. The fighting with hands and feet, and that's constantly evolving. So us as knife makers and knife designers, I think, should do the same. Otherwise, it would be boring, and we wouldn't be sitting here talking about knives.
Yes.
So it's cool to hear that there may be like an entirely new, like 50 years from now, we look at an entirely but we look at an entirely new design.
Sure.
I'm actually lining up doing a video on a guy that's at the moment all he makes now is buoys here in Durban, and he's now come out with his version 2 of his one, and I'm actually going to be sending one of those overseas to all of the guys over there to look at as well.
Ooh. Looking forward to that.
Oh,
A Durban buoy.
Sorry?
Pardon, Nicola?
What did you say his name was? The maker?
I can't remember right now. Sorry. He stays in Port Shepstone.
Was he at Durban Easter?
I didn't see him there, but the guy that was carrying, there was 3 guys carrying his knives, but you wouldn't have seen them because they were about from here down under their shirts. One of the guys works with me. Not Mervyn. Sorry, I can't remember his name offhand. I need my phone to be able to go.
You gotta let us know.
Derek is talking about, how you're talking about how knives are constantly evolving. Have you seen the winter knives, the winter blades by Brian White? Not all of, but I guess all of his designs employ magnets. And the different designs use them in different ways. But he makes locking knives with and they're all magnetic deployment, like just the way that he does the detent, everything is it's like wizardry because it's something that I never would have thought of.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of like magnets and folders and things like that, but like more logical use. I can see the different uses. Like if you want to really do some cool stuff, I can imagine that magnets would actually be the way
to take a look when you get a chance at Winter Blades Co. Winter Blades Co. Brian Winters. I think I said Brian White. It's Brian Winters. Winter Blade Co. And Lou had a question. If you guys make anything kind of like this size, like the Bloom, that's kind of a 3.5 finger EDC, just something small to put in a pocket or on a belt.
Yeah.
I've got a design very similar to that.
So we call it our Skinner, which is almost exactly the same with a little bit more of a curve to it. So also the curve back, but like a little bit more of a curve.
A little more belly.
Yeah.
Yes, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier on with when we were talking about trends and what I noticed with Huntex and Durban Eastern Knife Show, which was our 2 most recent shows that we've partaken in. And that was the small blades like that were the most popular, and that's also why we have none to show you at the moment, is because we are all out currently. But we definitely do. We do quite a few, and we've got three very definitive shapes, and then a little bit of in between. So we've got the Warncliffe, which is very similar to your Lagertha.
Yes. I love warnies. The chat knows my saying is I'm horny for warnies.
Oh my goodness.
Warnies and sheepfoot are my favorite blade shapes.
Oh, yeah. So it's pretty much that. They're really nice EDCs to have.
Yes.
those are the skinners, and then a more utility type hunter, which is a little bit longer than those ones, but more utility use out of them, methinks.
Something closer to this.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is the pickled steel and Jan Vol Impala Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Based off of Jan's custom Impala.
So ours would probably be a tad smaller than that, our everyday carry one. So we do have two sizes that comes in. So we are actually currently putting together a catalog of shapes that we frequent. Obviously, we said that we're going more into production now. So we found the knife shapes that we like and that we find works for us, and we want to create more of them. So I'm forever promising my dad this catalog, but it's taking a hot minute. You know, being a perfectionist and everything, it's a bit difficult to finish up on something, especially something that you're quite passionate about.
Sure, but, I imagine so.
Yeah, but we do definitely do something small like that. And the three most popular shapes are, yes, the Warncliffe, the Skinner, and then the utility piece.
You know, you're not helping my cause here. Every time I'm giving old Aries a hard time for such small knives, you guys aren't helping me here. Like I tell him that this is a first pocket carry, and yeah, you're telling him no, he needs to make more of these.
I'd rather carry a big folder and a smaller fixed blade. You know, than carry a larger fixed blade on me normally. I like this is about the size that I like my EDC to be. You know, that 6.5 inch or so. And it's just a really good size for EDC. And if I want a bigger blade, I can, grab a bigger folder or something like the Hunter. But yeah, my EDC fixies are typically here to grab a couple others.
Yeah, Aries is his blades are normally smaller, but now he's bringing out a whole lot of new ones which are slightly bigger. He's succumbed to some peer pressure from people.
And, don't worry.
Yeah,
so I was carrying my tech the whole week. Unfortunately, it's in my van or my bakkie at the moment.
Well, that's kind of where it lives most of the time. It doesn't really. If it's there, it's everywhere it needs to be.
It's a nice little fever. I love this.
This is like the size that I like for an EDC, because if I want, this can easily go into my front or back pocket, but I can also clip it on my belt, and I like to have the buckle or with the handle right in front of my belt buckle so that you can always get to it.
I'm sorry. Send on Instagram a picture of our smaller utilities that I dig. It's more of a hunter utility. So just give it a second. It'll pop through. And that's not the Warncliffe, it's not the Skinner, but it's the other one that I was kind of describing. You sent it to me the other day for Bolly.
Sorry, Nicole, can you just close your eyes? I just want to send something to Lou here quickly. Kathleen, please turn away. He's giving me gears in the chat, so.
Well, what did you ask about the bloom? What was that, Lou?
No, it's the knife that he's got over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the bloom right here.
Okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah. So I've got it.
And I should get those in just a moment.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting on those, I just wanted to show you two real quick. I'm going to share Brian Winter's website so you can see what we were talking about. Like his stuff is magnet driven, and these lock. But you can deploy it by pushing that right there, that tab, and that'll deploy the blade. It acts like a crossbar the way you can close it. However, it's all done with magnets, And that's his factors, but he's got several. This is all factors at the
The
moment.
factors are nice, eh? I like
Yeah,
that
the
knife.
factors are awesome. That's his, but he has several knives, most of them with a similar blade shape to that like sheepfoot Warncliffe in betweener. But right now it's showing, all that it's showing is factors. But he's sold out. But yeah, when we were talking about innovation, that was why we bring him up, because just the ideas come out of nowhere. Okay, here we go. I've got those pictures now, and I'm going to share these because these look really nice.
So these are G10 handles. So we normally do a natural wood handle because it's more like found materials, which we were talking about
I like
earlier.
that.
I like that a lot.
So yeah, this is actually more of a shiny finish. So even though it still has the forge finish on the spine, we have cleaned it up a little bit to go with the more cleaner, with the synthetic handles. It kind of just meshes a little bit more. But this is exactly the small EDC that this is my favorite shape, honestly. So when it comes to an EDC, I would say that and the Skinner. Warncliffe's still growing on me. I'm sorry, DBD. I think it's a little bit ugly.
Hey, that's all right.
It's very cool. However, it is a shape that I'm still getting used to. I like the old school, more utility shape. That and the Skinner's got just like the curve of the Skinner. But I would say for an EDC, that would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, I love a nice straight edge, and like here's another
angular.
I love that straight edge with a little bit of a point. I'm a big Warncliffe guy. That point being so low just makes it so easy for, especially when a lot of my knives open more knife boxes for me to show stuff. And that nice sharp utility point works really well on a Warnie. I do want to say real quick, Jim Miller gifted 5 memberships, and those went to Marco, Just in Time, Waylon, Rise Knives, and Knives and Gear Insights. Welcome to the Kripple Krew. All the new members, thank you so much for the support, Jim Miller. I truly appreciate it. And all the new members, you now have access to the Kripple Krew Inc. Gas Station Knife War of 2025. So you're going to want to watch the members only video. Look at those badass emojis welcoming the new members.
Lou, you don't know what you're talking about. Sit back down, please.
Yeah.
Quite well. I can see we're going to be friends.
I like Tontos. I've always liked my Tontos and stuff.
Yeah, I know you. I know you're a big Tonto guy. So is War Room.
No, that's kind of nice.
And I like a Tonto, but it's got to be like that. It has to have a compound grind. Otherwise, they're just boring to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel about the Warncliffe. So I can't really.
See, it goes back to me to a love of the Sex shape.
Yeah.
The original Warnie. And but I do also really like a curved Warncliffe as well. A curved it's more like this, where it's not quite as angular, but
it's quite awesome. Oh yes. No, I like that. That's a bit of a better look.
Yeah.
To me.
See, I like that as well.
More sheep with that.
More Hylton.
No, you can keep your plastic McDonald's stuff.
I love Hylton.
Cheap, yeah.
Yeah, that's a cheap one.
But I was going to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say, but that's okay. Oh yeah. The Gas Station Knife War. So for the new members, watch the members only video. The gas station knife war is going to be fun. So when we say gas station knives, Nicola, in our gas stations, probably the same thing there. You can buy really flashy knives that are
Absolutely.
really cheap crap.
Over here, you cannot get a knife at a garage.
No, you can't.
Sorry, yeah. Petrol
We
station.
go China more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And Fook Doozle sent this one in to the channel. This is the Golden Fook Dragon. It is assisted. And it has a wave opening feature that you can't use because it's a tip down clip. It's got the ring on it for no reason, like, cheap, flashy, crappy knives. So we're going to have a contest where members can find the most gas station knife they can find. Send them in. I'm going to do a review on each of them, and then members can vote. And whoever sends the winning gas station knife is going to win a real knife. Like they're going to win a WIXCO Drax with shred carbon fiber. So whoever sends the winning knife will get this knife. And then we're going to do a members only drawing. And whoever wins that gets stuck with the whole box of gas station knives. Because I'm not
realized
keeping up.
something.
Yeah, I'm not keeping up.
We've got a big advantage because you guys have just got a gas station with a few knives, where we've got we call it China Mall because it's everything from China, where there's just shops dedicated to knives. And it's all those cheap, nasty knives.
So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. My 1 year anniversary on YouTube is June 16th, and so leading up to my 1 year live stream, I'm gonna be doing the gas station knife war. What's up, KSK? How you doing tonight or today? Well, is there anything else that you guys would like to share while you're here?
So I just went to get this little one quickly. It's a new concept I'm working on. So it's basically a fixed blade Hikonogami.
Yeah, I can see the Hikonogami blade shape on it.
Yeah. So not quite a Warnie, not quite a sheath foot, but a handy little utility I'm working on. So that's prototype 1. So it's got a hemp wrapped, resin impregnated handle. Isn't quite
a wrapped handle. A wrapped handle would actually be really cool on that design because a lot of the older Hikonagamis did have a wrapped handle.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty cool. And those are that's a pretty good EDC size.
Exactly. So it's kind of just
nice.
That's a really good size for it.
Yeah.
Wicked cool. Do you do all leather sheaths, or do you do kydex as well?
I do some kydex. This one I've been playing with on this one is a hybrid kydex with leather. But I realize that some people just prefer the kydex, but
I kind of like that gets you the hold of kydex, but the look of leather.
That's it.
Yeah, that's really dope.
Yeah.
Because I do prefer kydex for most of my knives because it's easier to carry and such, but the leather looks better.
We do have so we got leather, we've got the kydex.
Oh, that's right. We did see the kydex on the claw.
Yeah.
Or
I don't like leather, but that red one looks nice.
The Talon. Yeah, that red looks good. The tooling on the Dirk looks awesome.
So we with a lot of our leather stuff, like I do majority of the leather work nowadays. So it's kind of like matches the look a little bit, the more rustic feel.
Sure.
I like that one with the red.
Yeah, that red is a really cool color.
Whereas the kydex and like the D10 handles would go together a little bit better.
Yeah, and for that knife, I think a kydex makes more sense anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, because you carry that knife a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a great neck knife.
Got a heavy grip though. gosh.
Yeah, people are digging that leather wrap Kydex.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's like it's still got the, especially we had a very similar one to this that we actually called the Relic, which it's kind of got the same feel. It's got like a very antique relic type feel to it, but it does have the grip of the Kydex in it. So I can show you
Nice.
like this. Right?
I know that there's a lot of holster companies here that are doing that for pistol holsters, doing a leather and Kydex hybrid sheath or a holster, but I haven't seen it really much for knives, and it looks good.
The nice thing with that, it would be a lot more comfortable on your skin, especially if you're carrying it inside your waistband or anything like that. It'd be a lot more comfortable inside. But you at least have that hard wearing of the Kydex. I do find with the leather, the knife, after a long period of time of carrying it all the time, tends to ride up a bit, which the Kydex stops. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh really liked that last blade.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Well, yeah, it's on that with the leather. Yeah, when the leather wears out, just like shoes, it becomes supple. But you can fix that up. Hey, you wet mold it again, so you run underneath the cup, mold it, and then once it's done, you can also just pop another layer of polish on it. So like normal shoe polish that you pop on like a stove and you heat up, you pop that on. That's not a nice time to redo it, and you pop it over like open flame. So you do it quickly, but it actually hardens it again and it shrinks it. So you wet mold it into the shape, and then you can shrink it up again, and it gets that grip. However, Kydex doesn't need that type of maintenance.
No, it doesn't.
You have to wait for it to get supple. In fact, you don't have to wait for anything. It doesn't get supple again.
It's just ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if your sheath doesn't come all the way up, it can be quite problematic for it to fall out with that wear and tear. So I prefer the leather sheaths because of the general look and feel, but I do get the downside of having it fall out, especially if you're using it and you're carrying it every single day.
Oh, the Talon. The Talon is the one Josh really likes. That's the one. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Talon too. Would you mind showing that one more time?
Absolutely.
I think I might need to get one of those.
Yeah, that is a wicked little ripper. And it is sharpened on both sides. So now, if you're in a state that doesn't allow dual edge, you could talk to them, of course, about only making a single edge on it. But that one there, that specific design, that's made to cut both ways. That's a great defender. That's beef jerky defense all day.
So
nobody gets your biltong.
With you saying about double edge and all of that, you know that in South Africa we are actually allowed to carry any size knife we like, any type of knife we like, provided if the cops do stop you, they have to have a reason for carrying it. So and you're not waving it around, walking around. If it's put away properly, it can be showing, but it doesn't have to be hidden. But apparently from 4 years ago, the new law is we can carry whatever we want.
Yeah, ours is so broken up by different states. Like here where I'm at, I'm not supposed to carry this out of the house. Hey, what's up, Bryce? How you doing, homie?
Good, and you?
Doing well.
Good.
Hope you have a great night.
You too.
But, yeah, automatics in my state, whether they are out the side or out the front, anything double edged in my state is a no-go for carry outside of the house.
Belt buckle knife?
Pardon?
Belt buckle knife?
Yeah, something like that. And here in town, in this state, is considered a concealed weapon, and you need the same permit as you do to conceal a firearm for something like a belt buckle knife.
Yeah.
Now,
that's interesting.
Yeah, this state has horrible knife laws. and horrible gun laws. It's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons we'll be happy to get out of it. Problem is, we have great marijuana laws. Like being able to go to the store and just get whatever you need is awesome. There's 3 stores in my town.
Yeah. We've got the same. So we've got one down the road, one up the road, and one a little further down the road as well. So it's quite lax here as well. I think
Yeah,
lax.
you're allowed to carry 3 kgs of weed on you. That's classed as
That's almost
personal
7
use.
pounds. That's
Oh,
nice.
really?
That's personal use. And as long as you smoke it at home, you're allowed to. At the moment, they're busy in the courts and that with the new laws and all of that. So there's a lot of leniency on it. As long as you're not caught carrying more than 3 kgs, that's like a black rubbish bag
Yeah.
of weed. You're fine. So I still would like to see somebody carrying that much weed around with them, but yeah.
Like super casually. Even before the laws became lax about it, even when it was still illegal in South Africa, you could still carry around 5 grams in public for personal use, and you could also have like something like 3 plants per person in a private home.
Oh wow! When did it become more legal though?
Last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay.
It's been a lot calmer and a lot more commonplace as well. I mean, it was quite commonplace beforehand, but I think that a lot more commonplace.
I grew up in Durban, and when I was in high school, if you got caught with a joint, you get 2 with a stick from the cops. They get you over the bench and they cane you.
Yeah.
So it's in order to sell weed here, like Nicola was saying, at the shops, at the dispensaries or the shops or whatever, the people that are there have to take a traditional healing course. So they have to be certified in traditional healing, and they have to have a certificate saying that they are a Sangoma or whatever it is, then they're allowed to sell it.
That's trippy.
Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it's quite the thing. There's also currently the only reason why we're going into court is not because of the marijuana itself, it's because of edibles. Because they're bypassing, if you sell an edible, they've got all the licensing to sell weed, but not the food licensing. They found like a loophole there. So you'll see a lot of things that should be refrigerated that stands out on the counter. It's not really even because of the marijuana that they're going to court about.
That's trippy. Yeah,
Stevie.
This said Stevie, what it do, homie? Each state here that has passed, because it's state by state here. It's still federally illegal in the U.S., but states have passed it either first medical and then recreational, and about half of our states have recreational, and but each of them has different laws on how much you can buy at a time, how much you can carry, what the percentages can be, how strong edibles can be. Every state is different. I like traveling and going to different weed stores in different states just to see how much different it is from here.
I've sent you a couple of the wantless and the next to the Skinner, as well as the utility.
That's I like that, Warnie. I want that second one. I'm gonna show this picture real quick.
I've got another one that I think you'll like a lot. So I've got a picture of them lined up in a circle, which is pretty cool.
So we've got several EDC size blades here. You got the Skinners on the bottom, and then the Warnies up top. I like this second Warnie quite a bit. Ooh, those Skinners look great. I like that solid black finish. And ooh, like on that Warnie right there.
That was specifically for you because of what you
Yes, yes.
I recognize those pictures.
That picture is all me.
I recognize those pictures. Quite a while ago, I think, was I talking with you, Hayden, Nicole? Were you asking me about sending knives overseas?
Yes, yes.
And those are the pictures that you sent.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah,
So-
I really, really dig those warnies.
They're pretty cool, right? They're pretty looking. Oh wait, I've got an even better one for you. More of them in a circle.
Make that circle bigger, bigger.
Yes.
Oh, yep, we're gonna look at that.
Oh, I think is that a Bowie? No, that's not.
That's
I
the foot
really, really like that.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I've got another one with a story. So it's the most recent one that I'm sending you.
Man, each of these looks pretty. I mean, there's. I love the different wood look. Like this
Yeah,
one right up here in this top right corner is
Yeah,
really spitting, talking to me right here.
Yeah, so that one's reindeer antler.
I like it.
Because
Ooh,
we don't get reindeer here.
there's
I
a
must-
fighting knife right there.
About this one, in that we don't have any big traditional South African knives. So this is one I created. I call it a voortrekker. Gareth can explain to you at some stage what a voortrekker is. But they're basically the pilgrims who left the Cape Colony to go and spread north into and establish other settlements in the northern parts of South Africa.
Okay.
So it's called a voortrekker, and it's based on the premise that when they were out in the bush, they took a Zulu spear and trimmed it down, took an ox wagon rim, made the guard and the bolster, and then used whatever materials from the felt to make the handle. So that's one of my signature blades called a voortrekker. It's a fabrication of my imagination and didn't exist, but it's based on my passion for the big blades and the Bowie knife.
Hey, I can see the inspiration from the Bowie. Definitely. And but yeah, that curved handle looks really dope. Is that what horn is that? Blessbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wicked fighter right there. You could chop with it. Like that's definitely a bush knife.
Totally.
Very cool. I like those a lot. Man, I really like those little warnies. And those little warnies, what? Sub $100?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll send you one.
Oh wow. I love those.
Since you like them so much, we'll definitely send you one.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask Hylton or Nicola while we've got them here? We are getting close to 3 hours, so I'm probably going to be winding this down pretty quickly. But I wanted to see if there's any questions out in the chat or ask if there was anything else that you two would like to share.
Oh, we have so much to share. So, I said we're going to be doing a YouTube channel. So we'll be sharing more there. 3 hours is not nearly enough.
No, and we'll definitely have you back on again as well. We'll have to do this again.
Yes, absolutely. And then, then we would have more stuff that we can show you on hand, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, we can talk more about your Wharncliffs because there's actually also history there. So we'll explore that the next time.
Hell yeah. I'm going to show, while you're talking, I'm going to show your YouTube account again. And here is their YouTube account, folks. 55 subscribers. So we've gained 15 today. Good job, Kripple Krew.
Guys, don't forget to watch the video and leave a comment and a like on it.
Like it and comment, or YouTube
so
will
that those
scrub the
videos
sub.
can stick. Or the subs can stick.
So definitely check these out. And Nicola is going to be adding more.
Yes. And we're going to be talking like what we've been chatting about. Histories, knives with stories, a little bit of what's going on in our workshop, just everything like knife enthusiast juice, just all of it.
Awesome. I like it. Gabe Harlan is asking how much those warnings would be.
So it would be
Around $90 plus shipping.
That's a killer deal. Do you hear
Yeah.
that, Gabe? You were going to be, just over $100 with shipping. That is fantastic pricing.
It is what it costs.
Gareth does have an Instagram.
I do.
I will pull it up and share it real quick, unless Gareth gets it going
No.
quicker.
Okay. Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, fine.
There you go. There's Gareth. Whoop. Helps if I hit send. There's Gareth.
Just make sure it's not my OnlyFans one, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Lou. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, Lou. I know not everybody appreciates you, Lou, but we do. The Kripple Krew does.
Sometimes. No, I always like Lou. Sometimes I prefer him to DBD.
Later, Derek.
Oh, bye, Derek.
Rolf.
Cheers, Derek. Sharp, Derek. I've been teaching Derek some Afrikaans words like massa and sharp.
Yeah. Your mother's got nice honors.
Yes. And you
I'm
must
not supposed to repeat my favorite saying on the live, according to
Go
Gareth.
for it. No, you can. No, wait, no, don't.
I didn't think so.
So, if you want to get away with saying something South African, go, you must push here.
Yeah.
So, you must push here.
Yeah, there we go.
I think the most awful naming. So, DBD, you obviously know about our issue with power and ESCOM.
Sure.
Yeah, so ESCOM
Thanks,
came up push. The worst naming I think I've ever heard. Like, nobody at the marketing table thought, hey, this is not going to go down well.
Yeah, that sounds like that. I mean, if you look at that, you're going to be like, well, that's naughty.
Yeah. And it's like, it's all what we all think about, ESCOM at this point. We're all saying ESCOM, so you know what?
I thought that was a joke thing. Like, I thought that was somebody else's app.
No.
I didn't realize it's theirs.
He's like, I didn't know that was officially.
Oh.
It's going to push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's what I wasn't going to say. I was going to start it with lacquer, but
Yeah.
and then
lacquer push.
Yeah. Then I wasn't going to say it, but then the app did anyway.
It's terrible. Maybe it is a joke, but I mean, terrible. As ESCOM, I think I would have had it taken. I would have amended it by now.
It's okay. They don't have the power to see it. Their computers are all shut down.
Very true.
Well, it's not like you guys really need electricity or clean drinking water. Come on now.
No. We go
Move to
rest of the
Durban.
hippos
It's
for it.
awesome. Move to
We just
Durban.
go
It's
rest of
awesome.
hippos to get it.
Bring bottled water.
Off the elephants and grab some water.
Yeah. I mean, when we're talking about with the hippos, we just grab a bucket.
There we go.
So,
Yeah.
are you guys in Durban as well?
No, so we're in Joburg, which is considered like the business city of South Africa. So it's where everybody goes to not earn money.
No, everybody goes there to earn money but not be happy.
Yeah,
There we go.
It's dry. It's a lot drier than Durban would be. So Durban is green like all year round, and we're yellow all year round.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, when I think of Joburg, I just think of like Deantwood videos and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's all I know of. Or the movie Chappie. There we go.
So
That's
one
what
of
I
the
think of. I
videos,
think of Chappie.
The movie, so not Chappie, the one.
Chappie I made nice for.
Yeah, we made nice for the movie.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chappie's knife is one of our knives. That's How did that slip?
It was such an awful movie. I wanted to see where they use the knives. I watched about 10 minutes and turned it off. No, it's a terrible movie. It's
No,
horrible.
it's a phenomenal movie.
My kids love that movie. Kids love
really?
that movie.
I mean,
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it now and watch for the knives. That is really awesome.
called Redemption with Mads Mikkelsen. I made knives for that movie.
So
And I met Mads Mikkelsen on set.
That's cool.
We sat in the bush talking knives, him and I.
no, when he says he sat in the bush, he literally means that they got down cross-legged in the bush.
It was quite a surreal experience.
Yeah, so he's got a couple of my dad's knives, which is so cool.
Then
So
Eva
you
brought
make knives for movies and for games. That's crazy. So
And
next
for
time,
YouTubers.
next time we do one of these lives together, we're gonna have to talk about how your knives came to be in movies and games, because that's gonna be a good story too.
That's quite cool. Yeah, that's something that would be that we'd love to chat about.
Yeah, Redemption's a great movie.
Yeah.
Do you mean I'm
Yeah,
still watching
I
it?
could see you liking that movie more than Chappie. I can see that.
That was a good.
Well,
Yeah, no,
I want to say I truly appreciate you guys coming on, and also my brother Gareth for setting this up for us. Thank
Anytime.
you both so much.
Really appreciate it. Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
No,
And
anytime.
we will absolutely do this again in the future. And it sounds like you guys are already going to be getting some knife orders, but we'll definitely have to do this again.
Absolutely. This has been lots of fun. We've really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm
So
glad to
next-
hear it. And I hope
next time
everybody has a great weekend.
Yes.
Nicole, next year when you go to Blade Show, I'm just going to hide in your bag, okay? I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, that'll
That's
work.
So
That'll work.
$20K just for the price.
I'll pay half, but I'll hide in your bag.
There we go.
Hey, you might be something there. Especially the Texas Blade Show. I'd love to go and see that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not able to make Blade Show this year, but I'm planning on next year. Texas hopefully will be a lot closer to me next year, but I also do want to try to make Atlanta just because everybody goes there. Yeah.
Yes, that's the main event.
So
But,
I've been told if you're enough, if you want to display knives, you go to Atlanta. If you want to see people and chat to people, you go to Texas.
yeah, Texas or West in Salt
Because
Lake.
Texas is more personal. There's a lot less, so you tend to be able to spend more time with people.
Yeah, so right up my alley then.
Well, I had an American student here from Salt Lake City.
Jake.
And Jake said we can come and stay with him anytime we want to do Blade Show West. So maybe
I've
that's
seen-
something we could go to.
I've seen some of the tents on your guys' street. You guys camp in the street, so I could do that too.
All right, everybody. Again, thank you. I had a blast, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe, stay frosty, stay deadly.
Shap, shap.